What's up, everybody? Tonight we're going to talk about the fight with Caleb Plant last night versus Armando Resendez when we come right back. Welcome to another episode of Ringwalk Boxing Podcast. I am Bean, and hopefully today you're having a good day. It's a nice, bright, sunny day here in Cincinnati, Ohio, USA, and hopefully in your region you're having great weather as well. Tonight we're going to jump right into it, and we're going to talk about my experience at the Ohio meet and greet, the Ohio Boxing Hall of Fame. So big shout outs to Cincinnati legend Nate Tubbs. He was on my show last week. So if you didn't see that, make sure you play it back and get on YouTube and watch the Nate Tubbs interview we did live. We went really, really deep. We covered a lot of different layers. We talked about Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, and a lot more. It's too much to explain. But just go back and run it back on YouTube. But pertaining to the show, the event on Friday night, the meet and greet, we had the honor of meeting people like Pac-Man Jones of the Cincinnati Bengals, a legend here in Cincinnati. Although he's from Atlanta, Georgia, he's all Cincinnati. He's all in, just like Chad Ochocinco Chad Johnson, Cincinnati. These people love the city. Certain people are not from here, but when they come here, it's almost like they get stuck. So much respect to them guys. Shout outs to Big Zoe, my big cousin. Shout outs to my pops. And we had such a good time. I was able to meet Zab Judah, the legend, out of Brooklyn, New York, out of Brownsville, the same area as Mike Tyson, before Mike Tyson went to Catskills and got, to get him out of trouble. He was raised in Brownsville, Brooklyn. So Zab Judah, for you who may or may not know who he is, if you don't follow boxing that in depth, get on YouTube, and his best fight, which was controversial, people thought he actually won, watch Zab Judah versus Floyd Mayweather Jr. We all know who Floyd is, and he's especially known because he has no losses. He has 50 wins and no losses. A couple are controversial or whatnot, but at the end of the day, run that back. Zab Judah versus Floyd Mayweather Jr. Also, at the same event, I was able to meet Larry Donald of Cincinnati, a former champion who had a street named after him here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Also met the brother of Nate Tubbs, Tony TNT Tubbs, the former WBA champion legend. And I want to say shout outs to Cam J Network. We always talking. So shout outs to Cam J. And shout outs to Mike Ware. Yeah, Cam J. We'll get a link for you here in the comments here shortly for sure. Shout outs to Original Fighter's Voice with Don McGuire. Oh, congrats. You said Original Fighter's Voice with Don McGuire said, when I was inducted into the National Boxing Hall of Fame, it changed my life forever. Oh, that's awesome. Was that the one up in New York, or was that a different location? What city was it? Because I know they had the one in Indiana as well. The Indiana Boxing Hall of Fame as well. So what I want to talk about, y'all, is the recap of last night's fights. The co-main event with Jamal Charlo versus Loma. there was a lot that you could see in Jamal Charlo that was different than how you normally see him perform. And what I'm trying to say by that is many of us came to our own conclusion that he was suffering from ring rust. And what ring rust is basically when you're not fighting and staying active and you're fighting every 18 months, every 2 years, and sometimes even longer than that. Prime example, people that haven't been in the ring in a while, people like Michael Hunter. He has a fight coming up with, I think, Kubrat Pulev, but Michael Hunter hasn't been very active lately. Andy Ruiz has not been very active lately. Charles Martin has not been very active lately. And then up until last night, you had Jermel Charlo, who hadn't been active in a long time as well. But considering the circumstances of ring rust, he looked good. He didn't look great, but he looked good. He was able to set the pace regardless, and his power showed the levels. The levels of the power were the main focus last night with Charlo. His power was a lot better than LaManna. He landed the more meaningful shots. He landed more shots. As far as his physique, he didn't look like you would normally see him. He's normally shredded, but I think that layoff and maybe this camp or whatever, he just didn't look like he was in tip-top shape or condition, but he was conditioned enough to still win the fight, which was a good thing to see. And somebody also was saying, we were talking about Errol Spence, and a lot of people take their hat off to him and credit him for being the type of guy that sometimes he had long lapse between certain fights, but yet he would never take tune-ups. If you recall, Errol Spence would come, a year or more after, and he would step in that ring. He would not take a tune-up fight. So salute to Errol Spence just for that. People don't give him enough credit. And yes, he did lose against Bud Crawford. He suffered his first loss. But you can't take away all that he has accomplished in the sport of boxing. So shout outs to Errol Spence for sure. Original Fighter's Voice with Don McGuire. You said 2024 with Evander Holyfield in Montebello, California. Okay, man, that's what's up, man. So big respects and big shout outs to you, man, for sure. And thanks for tuning in to us here at Ring Walk Boxing Podcast. You said the Original Fighter's Voice with Don McGuire. I'm a photographer and radio show host. I've been a photographer for 41 years, and I found you through Facebook. I have respect, a good show. Hey, man, thanks, man. That's a lot of, that's a big, I just feel good hearing that, man. That's a big compliment. So thank you for that very much. And we will be doing this live every Sunday, generally 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here in Ohio. But if you're in California, that would be around 3 o'clock generally. Tonight I had a later start, but generally we are on at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, USA. Originals Fighter's Voice. You said Spence will never be the same after the car wreck. Well, definitely, man. A lot of us feel that way. And to be fair, yes, he did win a few fights after the car wreck. So people are using that as to say that the car wreck had no effect for the Bud Crawford fight. But if you look at it for what it is, Bud, as good as Spence was, Bud was the best opponent he's ever faced. And for him to fight Bud Crawford after a car wreck is insane. Because if the shoe was on the other foot, which I would pray that never happened, but if it was a scenario where Bud had been through what Spence had been through, could he have still pulled off a win? Had he been through a real bad car wreck, you know what I'm saying? So, I feel what you're saying, man. I do. I really do feel what you're saying. Some people won't agree with what me and you feel, but everybody has their opinion, you know, so we all think differently. Um, so let's talk about the main event. I'm definitely a fan of um, Caleb Plant. I've always said he's a throwback fighter. He will fight anyone, as it was evident when he fought Canelo, who actually stopped him, which that might have been the first time he was ever stopped. Canelo Alvarez and Caleb Plant. But then he also fought David Benavidez. And even though he didn't get stopped, I felt like the ref kind of helped out Caleb Plant because he was definitely on his way to being stopped. And that ref was intervening towards the end of that fight. Nevertheless, he fought two dangerous opponents in Canelo Alvarez and David Benavidez. In my opinion, in my humble opinion, and my strong opinion, I feel like that took a toll on Caleb Plant. I feel like he's not the same guy, even though he's a good fighter and he's willing to fight anyone. I feel like being through what he went through with those two opponents did take a toll on him. But last night, him fighting Resendez, he looked off. His timing looked off. He's normally the sharper, faster guy. He's not necessarily known for his power, but he has all these other attributes. You know, he has pretty good timing, fast hands, slick feet, good angles. But last night's performance was not the type of performance you would expect out of Caleb Sweet Hands Plant. He was making a lot of mental mistakes. I don't know if it was bad habits. I have to go back and look at some more of his fights, but it seemed like he kept letting Resendez catch him with the same right hand. I'm like, why are you not being able to deflect this? Why are you not being able to block this? But time after time, throughout every round, he was catching that right hand, and I couldn't understand it. And it was starting to catch up with him as the rounds went into the later rounds. You could pretty much see that it was taking its toll on Caleb Plant. So let me know what y'all felt about that Caleb Plant versus Resendez match last night. Let me know what you think about the performance of Jermell Charlo versus Loma. Let me know what y'all felt about those two fights last night, and did you expect each match to go the way they went? I think most of us felt that Charlo would win, but we also thought that Caleb Plant would win. Now I'm hearing the interview that Caleb Plant did after the fight. He was claiming that he had a hand injury. So I don't know what you think about that, but one thing about most boxing fans, we don't like excuses. So it's like, if you did have a hand injury, like I said, I am a fan of Caleb Plant. Well, the best thing for you to do is to go back in there, rematch him, win, and then you can say, well, hey, I told you I had an injury, and when I'm healthy, I'm going to beat my man. But just to say you have an injury, the last thing you want to do is be like Devin Haney. Although it's a different scenario, it was Osterine But you see that uh, they went through all these measures with Ryan Garcia to say he was cheating and had some extra in the system. Well, when it was time to run the fight back, right now it's all these different excuses on why the rematch is not going to happen as of right now. Devin Haney has his eyes focused on other opponents. It's like, why are you worried about everybody else, like T.O., Teofimo Lopez? You need to be concerned about running it back with King Rye, with Ryan Garcia. If in fact he's a cheater, that's the reason he won, then you should be able to prove in the rematch that you're the better man. And that if he's a clean fighter, he cannot beat you when he's clean. So hold on one second, y'all. I'm go back to my FB real quick and check my live stream on there as well. But if you're viewing me on Facebook, please come over to YouTube. There is a pinned link in the comments. But if you're on Facebook Live watching my video, please come over to YouTube and make sure you hit the subscribe button if you have not already hit subscribe. And if you saw in my story, on my reel, on FB, on IG, even on TikTok, I have a barcode you can scan. I have a scan code. It's very easy now. Just scan that code. You'll go to YouTube, hit the subscribe button, hit the ring, the bell notification. And also, big shout outs to my family, my Zone 15 family for sure. Next Saturday, this upcoming Saturday on the 7th, they're having the block party in Lincoln Heights, Ohio. I plan to be there. I just talked to one of my partners. Shout out to TA. He called me earlier and we discussed the block party and a few other people. So I'm gonna definitely show up there. And for those who haven't met me, I would like to meet you and tell you a little bit more about what we're doing here at Ringwalk Boxing Podcast. I'll have a scan code so you can just scan my phone and you can pick up the bar code or whatever and go straight to YouTube. I'll be explaining how you can, if you're interested in my merch, we have an online store. So I'll be talking all about that face to face with people at the block party next weekend. Hey, what's going on, cuz? In Chicago, Chi-Town. How you doing, cousin Kiki? I appreciate you stopping through. Okay. Cam J, JC said bear with him. He's trying to work it out and get that link up for you, brother. But let me know what y'all felt about Plant's performance last night. Let me know what you felt about Jamal Charlo's performance last night. And let's just have some fun and keep it real right now. And what's going to happen now that Plant has lost? I guess he'll run it back with Resendez, so that's going to maybe push the Plant versus Charlo fight. It's going to push it back a little more because he needs to right that wrong, in my opinion. Especially now that he's claiming that he had an injured hand, it's only right for him to run it back now. If Caleb Plant is claiming that he had a hand injury, and that's one of the reasons why he lost, he needs to run that fight back with Resendez and make it right. And kind of just to go back to the Ohio Boxing Hall of Fame. Yeah, he had fighters from Dayton, Ohio, and fighters from Michigan, like Detroit, Michigan. So he brought a lot of different talent down here to Cincinnati. So that's big, a big honor, and it's a big move for Nate Tubbs for his very first Ohio Boxing Hall of Fame. If he does it again in next year in 2026, hopefully I can make both. I can make the meet and greet, and I can make the actual ceremony next time. So salute to all those guys again. Everybody who got inducted in the Ohio Boxing Hall of Fame. Shout outs to everybody. Hey, was good, Scoob? Was good, Cuzzo? Cam J, you said Plant got spanked last night. Yeah, man. Plant, I rock with Plant, man. Because he's a throwback fighter. He has not been ducking any smoke, but last night, he didn't look like the Plant he didn't look like the best version of Caleb Plant. And I don't know if we attribute that to, the fact that he had a rough fight with Beterbiev and a rough fight with Canelo. Maybe that was very impactful, and maybe the collateral damage of going through wars with Canelo and Beterbiev, it might have took its toll on Caleb Plant. But I guess we will see on his next performance if he can bounce back. What did you feel about the and coming Camille Molton against Rennie Villamonte? Rennie Villamonte versus Camille Molton. What did you think about the performance of Camille Molton as he won last night? Do you still feel the same about him? Because he is young, so you don't want to be critique him too much because he is young, up and coming, and he's still learning certain things. But I think Camille Molton has a very bright future in the sport of boxing for sure. So congrats to Camille Molton on his victory last night. All right, so I got a question, y'all. What I would like to know is we got Clarissa Shields in female boxing with her next upcoming fight versus I think you pronounce her name Lanny Daniels or Lonnie Daniels. What do you think about this matchup? I saw some footage earlier on Mrs. Daniels, and how would I explain that? Clarissa is elite level female boxer. The qualities of Miss Daniels, unfortunately, she doesn't have those qualities of an elite level fighter. I think this is going to look like a sparring match for Clarissa, and that she should win this fairly easy. She's so much quicker. Her feet, her hand speed, her angles, her ring IQ, her ring generalship, all that in consideration, I don't see anything that Lanny Daniels can do that's going to really give her issues. Because if you say power, Savannah Marshall had power. If you say power, Danielle Perkins had power. And pretty much Clarissa beat both of them. So I don't really see where Lanny Daniels will be able to do anything with the style of Clarissa Shields. Now, a fighter I think that would be a good potential fight for her, and we'll probably talk about this again in this segment tonight once Cam J gets on here, is the sister of Daniel Dubois, Carolyn Dubois. So we'll talk about that once Fam gets on here or whatever. Also, we'll talk about the trilogy, Dmitry Bivol versus Beterbiev, the trilogy. We're gonna talk about that tonight. The Tank Davis versus Lamont Rose Jr. rematch. You know, it's a lot of rematches going down. Dubois versus Usyk rematch. You know, we need to talk about that. Bud Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez. There's an interview where Bud is confirming that he's going to fight Canelo Alvarez. So it sounds like, y'all, we're going to see that fight. Also, we need to cover Shakur Stevenson versus William Zepeda. What will Jamal Charlo do next? Who's going to be his next opponent? Where are these fighters? Where are Charles Martin, Andy Ruiz? You know, where these guys been? Also, potential opponents for the up-and-coming Moses Itauma. Also, Moses Itauma, is he who we think he is? Will he be that next rising star, and will he actually be what people are making him out to be? Is he overrated, or is he just, you know, just as good as what we think he's going to be? I guess we will see that in due time. So let me know what y'all think in the comment section. What's up, Mike Ware? What's going on? This for me. You got the case. What? No. It's not connected. Can you hear me? No, you're not in there. Oh. Okay. Michael Ware, you said Cam J, I'll call Plant losing. He can't beat a pressure fighter with a gas tank. Plant gases after round 6. Michael Ware, you said Cam J. We need to see Camille versus Shakur's cousin. Who is Shakur's cousin? Michael Ware. And how many fights has he had? I'm gonna have to look him up after this podcast. Hello? Oh, okay. I can hear you. Yep. What's going on? Hey, what's going on? I'm just seeing if you can hear me. I can hear you.
Thank God.
Okay, but I can hear you.
I thought it was over for a second. I was like, oh, wow. They waiting for me?
Hey, what's going on? See if you can hear me. I can hear you.
You can hear me, bro?
Yeah, I can hear you. Mike Ware, you said Shakur's cousin beat Camille. I know, but I can hear him. All right, Michael Ware, you said Shakur's cousin beat Camille in the fight before he went pro. Now both are prospects. Okay. Yeah, that would be a good fight then. Because you know what that is. It doesn't always go the same way. When they become pros, you might have beat him in the amateurs, but you may not beat him in the pros. Where he said, okay, I see you. Yep. Can you hear me? Michael Ware, you said his name is Zion, if I am right. I'll Google it after this podcast.
There we go.
I'm gonna do some research
There
on it.
we go, JC. What's poppin'?
Hey, what's going on? What's going on, Cuzzo?
Oh, I'm feeling great, man. I'm feeling great, man. I mean, I had a cold the last couple of days. We did that show yesterday where I had a whole cold, but I had to get through it because it was amazing yesterday, bro. So anybody watched that show back yesterday, man. Sorry, but not sorry. Boxing Talk episode 3, the round table, bro, it was amazing yesterday, man. We had a lot of great dialogue, especially we ran down a lot of stuff with Ohio boxing with my guy Marcus
Yeah,
Nall from Ohio Runs Boxing yesterday, man. It was an amazing show, man. And we
facts.
added some other pieces to the panel, so it was a great show. You know what I mean? I'm glad, like the round table. That's why, like that's like you there every weekend. So like that's just a thing for you. You got to be on the show every weekend. That's just that's stamped now. Like, but salute to my boy, man, JC. Salute to Mike. Where I see you in the comments, man. I mean, Salute to School, Savage Say So. Salute to everybody in the comments, Don McGuire. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Let's get this lit, man. Let's talk about these fights from last night, man. It was some
Yeah,
crazy
man.
fights
Yeah.
last night. I had to go back and watch some fights because I missed Camille fight last night. So I had to go back and watch that fight. Sean Zepeda, he recorded that
Mm-hmm.
fight, so I ended up watching that fight earlier back this morning. And then I just watched Yingly Hernandez, that Cuban man, versus Kyron Davis.
Oh, I seen a very little bit of that. I didn't see the. I didn't see everything,
Woo!
but
That
yeah.
boy Hernandez, that Cuban, Yuli Hernandez, he nasty, bro.
Yeah, from what I can see,
He
man.
did
Yeah.
Kyron Davis. Like Kyron Davis, he went all 10 rounds, but he knocked him down in the second round. Like he was doing Kyron Davis dirty in that whole all 10 rounds for real. Like it was like a shutout almost. Like I don't even see Kyron even winning one round. It was that bad. Like in them Cuban fighters, boxing fans, y'all gotta watch and pay attention. Then on the mic, what's sound?
Yeah. Yes, a little. I can't explain it, but it's a little sound.
Okay, okay. 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 So you gotta pay attention to them Cuban fighters right now in particular. Sound a little better? We're gonna talk a little bit different. See if it might sound a little bit different.
Yeah, I can hear you actually speaking, but it sounds like it's a something like a
You hear it too?
light. Yeah, I don't know if it's music or
Really?
something
My
echoing.
phone? That's what it is then. Yeah, okay. All right. We got it understood
You
now.
figured it? Okay.
All right. Wifey had stuff connected because we both got our stuff connected and stuff and all of that. So, yeah. So the boxing fans, pay attention to some of the new Cuban fighters that's out right now, like David Morrell Jr. and Yuli Hernandez. Guys like him and Eunice Telez as well. These Cuban fighters, a lot of the Cuban fighters back in the day, they used to be guys that was, real slick fighters, great footwork, great lateral movement, but they had some power, they had some great talent. Now some of these guys they're using all of that along with power, being aggressive. You know what I mean? Setting up traps and stuff like they like a lot of these new Cuban style fighters are becoming some all around fighters currently right now, man. And it's hey, yeah, I got the black fighters. You know how we feel about the black fighters. You feel me? But the Cubans, boxing fans, you gotta watch out for some of these Cuban fighters that's coming up, man. Like they got some real great talent, and the style is upgrading up there in Cuba right now. It ain't just them just being a lot of finesse and lateral movement fighters. So they doing the finesse and lateral movement along with some power, athleticism, and just coming with strength, and they putting pain out there, man. Uni Hernandez last night was putting pain on Kyron Davis last night. It was bad, bro. And just kind of the segue with Camille. Camille looked awesome last night. That's a guy I've been covering over the last 3 years and stuff. So, what you think about Camille? Just to see the little clips. I don't know. You should watch the whole fight. Did you watch the whole fight with Camille last night?
No, I didn't get to see the whole fight, so I am
You
gonna
just so
run
you
it
see
back
some
after
clips
this.
from him.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
did see some
yeah.
clips. Yeah.
So yeah, Camille, like short. I'm very high on him. I know some people don't like how much on his defense for us. He gets hit with shots at times, but I say in particular in this fight that he had with this guy that he fought last night, it was easy picking. Like, what I mean? Just, Camille was just the better. Like, Camille went, and tried, like, what I love about Camille, like, from I've been covering him, he like inflicting that pain on them kids out there, man. Like, not kids, let me say men, because they are grown men, because he's 19. He's 19. People gotta recognize that this guy,
Right.
Camille Molton, is 19 years old, doing what he's doing
Yeah,
right now.
still like a kid.
He's 8 0,
Hmm.
7 knockouts. Like, you gotta recognize. With Camille Molton, this man, he likes inflicting pain on men out there, man. Grown men out there at the age of 19. And just looking out how he was moving last night, that boy gonna be a problem. I've been saying this since he became a pro because he had a crazy amateur background. You know what I mean? And I know some people. Who was Mike Weir? Mike Weir said something about Shakur Stevenson, cousin, Zach Queen Moses. Yes, they fought in the amateurs, and they kind of went back and forth a little bit. Moses, he got some fights off on him and everything for us winning. I mean, I gotta kind of go back for us know what was the record between them two. But Zach Queen Moses did beat Camille Moses in the. He did beat Camille Molton in the amateurs. So that is documented for us them two. So they got some history. But in the pros, I always tell people, shit different when they get to the pros, man. Like that amateur stuff would be cool. Like you know what I'm saying? Your background and stuff would be cool. But it's different in the pros and just seeing how Camille Molton, how he rocking in the pros right now, just measuring both of them guys up currently, as far as like Camille Molton and Zach Moses, Moses, I think he's like 3-0, 4-0 or something. Like he's working over there, you know what I'm saying? He's getting some fights over there with Eddie Hearn. Just looking at how they both looking, man, Camille Molton will probably stop him right now if they just a fight. Like Camille Molton's been in some dog fights. If people remember that fight that Camille Molton had with Anthony Cuba, Leo Santa Cruz fighter, Anthony Cuba, fire fight. Go back on PBC's YouTube channel. That fight's on their channel. Camille Molton versus Anthony Cuba. Fire fight. That was a banger. Like, go back and watch that fight. Like, you know what I'm saying? That was the fight that kind of some fans was kind of thinking about with Camille Molton, where they were saying like, he got to shape up his defense a little bit from that fight. But per se, like Camille Molton is a dog, and if he was to fight they playing Moses right now, probably stop him. Like he a different animal in the pros. Like it's different, powerful, strong, fast, defense. Like he got the IQ and the vision. Like you know what I'm saying. Like Zaquan Moses, he fights like Shakur. Fight like Shakur. He ain't fought no power yet. He fighting bums over there with Eddie Hearn. Like, let's be real. He fight bums. The Camille Molton, he's seen a couple of bums too. You know what I'm saying? He's seen a couple of bums as well. But Camille Molton has fought better competition as a professional than Zaquan Moses starting off, just to be honest. I mean, and this is coming from a guy that everybody know. Like, y'all know me, I'm tapped in on the boxing side heavy. So, like, I know what's popping with a lot of these fighters, for sure. He said, Mike, where JK out here? Mike, where hopping on?
I think so. I just seen him on here. I seen Mike. But
Yeah. Tell Mike hop on. Yeah, man, Camille Molton, man, he fire, man. Fire. Like Zaquan Moses wouldn't stand a chance if they was the fighters that right now, wouldn't stand a chance. Like, you know what I'm saying? I like Zaquan Moses, but stay over there what you doing over there. You come over there to the dark side and they get a little real over there with Camille Molden. You know what I'm saying? Zaquan definitely ain't ready for no Abdullah. Abdullah ain't even on that level right now. Abdullah, he gonna be having a title shot next year. So there's a whole different level on that case. You feel me?
Hey, what's going on, Adam? You said a woman shouldn't propose
Yeah,
to
a
a
woman
man.
should propose to a man. Where did that come from? This is boxing talk. What is he talking about? Like, we talking boxing over here. What is he talking about? Like, he talking. He acting crazy. Mike, where was good, bro? How you feeling, brother?
Yeah, Adam. This is boxing talk, man. What's going on? Did you see the Caleb Plant fight last night, Adam, or the Charlo? Well, KMJ.
What you mean?
Adam, you said Caleb will be back.
Like so, you say everything is like everything. Like after everything you say. Ask them is it happening on their end too, or is it just my end?
I don't think because they would have said something. They ain't said nothing since then.
Maybe it's just me, man.
I can't hear no one. Mike, where?
Hey, Mike, is your microphone? Make sure it's not on mute. Adam, you said I knew Resendez would win.
Oh, now you talking boxing now. He said he knew Resendez would win. Hey. One thing I will say about the Caleb factor, just to kind of throw in. Hey, did y'all hear me perfect? Y'all hear me good?
I hear you now, yeah.
Y'all hear me good? Okay.
But it's still that sound. Like a
It's
little
still a sound. What kind of sound is it?
It's like dun, dun, every couple seconds. Dun.
That's weird.
Yeah, when you're talking, is.
Adam,
you said Jamal versus Plant is still the fight.
You gotta take your thing out. You gotta be that.
Can you hear me, Cam?
Can you hear me now? How I hear it now? I sound good?
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
lower?
I think it's better.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
He said he came back.
There we go again?
Yep.
Matter of fact, let me come back in and I'm gonna come back. That's not. Let me go out and come back in. Let me do that.
Okay. You're gonna come back in. And Mike, I can see you, but I can't hear you. Yeah, man, Adam. But as far as what you're saying, Jamal Charlo versus Caleb Plant is still the fight to make. Yeah, I think eventually it's going to happen. Now, do you feel it's the fight to happen next, or does Caleb Plant need to rematch Resendez first and then fight Charlo after he gets his win with Resendez?
All right.
Okay, you back?
Yo.
Yep, I hear you now.
Are we good? Do it sound better? It's still like that. All right. So, how you feel about Caleb Plant performance? Like, in fact, not even Caleb Plant. Start off with Jamal Charlo performance last night.
You said Charlo?
Yeah.
It was still good. You know, if I had to rate him, it wasn't great, but it was still good when you consider the fact he wasn't in the ring for a while. He was out of the ring for a good amount of time. So as a comeback fight and to have ring rust, he did good, especially stopping this guy. So I think he just needs to stay active.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, you already know. I said that in the chat earlier. I felt like Jamar Charlo definitely need to stay back active. He looks sharp. I know some people in the chat, as far as like in our chat, in the boxing chat last night, they was like, man, Caleb Plant, he gonna beat Jamal Charlo. And I was like, y'all gotta relax, man. Y'all be, you know what I'm saying? Y'all going too hard because y'all believe, Jamal Charlo, of course, like previous, recent actions from him. He hasn't fought since he fought Jose Benavidez Jr. in about a year and a half, almost 2 years. So we understand the layoff and everything due to his personal issues with his wife and, et cetera, and all of that. Don't want to get all into that per se. But at the same time, last night with the performance versus Thomas Lamena, which is a guy that was coming off a 9-win, win streak pretty much from his last, 9 fights. He had a, decent performance, man. I ain't gonna say it was like, the greatest performance from Jamal Charlo, but we did see some glimpses of old him with the jab, and I ain't gonna lie. One thing that was fascinating about him last night was the power. His power at 168. Hey, I said that's something to really take and look on and kind of pay attention to. That power look a little bit different, man. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I mean? Of course, he's been fighting at 160 for a long time, of course, but that power at 168 looked crazy. So when I was in the chat last night, I'm like, bro, I'm saying I can see y'all maybe edging Plant, maybe, 55-45, but Charlo ain't out of that, that fight. And then, that we just going off the base off of both performances from last night. Man, Charlo probably be playing ass right now, bro. No cap, you know what I'm saying? Like, but Charlo, look, he had a good performance, man. I ain't gonna say, like, if I had to grade it, I say it was a good, solid B plus, B minus. You know what I'm saying? B minus at the latest. I mean, he definitely looked big in there at 168. Like, what y'all think about his size? Like, his size at 168. Like, he looked pretty big in there at 168 for sure. What y'all think about the size of Charlo last night?
Are you there, Mike? Can you? Let's see. I don't hear you.
Yo, his mic is low. His mic is low. I can hear him a tad bit, but his mic is very low.
Okay, turn your mic up. Your volume on your mic. He can hear you faintly.
But other than that, I mean, last night, man, Charlo, I like what I seen. Thomas Lamena, like, and see, this is the thing with boxing fans. I wish I could kind of take an emphasis on this a little bit too with him. That what you think about that knockdown that happened in the 6th round where he took a knee and everything, right? Boxing fans, hey, y'all, you know where I'm going with this. You know where I'm going with this.
Like Tank, like when they was all over Tank about it.
They you know what I mean? I don't need to just mention it. I had to mention it because, I just want to give a little bit insight, a little bit layers to some of the boxing fans out there. All the outrage they did as far as Tank with the knee and everything. Yes, it should have been called a knockdown. They didn't call it a knockdown. It is what it is. Last night, it was a clear knee, and they ended up calling it a knockdown in the fight. The referee got it right. Talk to the referee about the issue. That's what I'll be trying to talk about, and just explain certain like little similar situations like that, because like that should be definitely different on different ends for sure. Let me see that, man. Mike, I don't know what do Mike got a. I wonder if he got an Android phone or something. I don't know what it is. I heard him a little bit, but I ain't hear I ain't hear him 100% though. Like his voice was very low.
I see his mouth moving.
I know he don't have. I don't know if he got earphones or not. That may work for him a little bit either as well.
Yeah, man. I don't know what's going on.
So
you hear me?
We talk about Caleb Plant, man. I know you ran down and talked about Plant, performance. How you felt 100% about Plant performance with Resendez, man. There was a rugged fight last night, man, and Plant didn't get the job done, man. For real, like the split decision. What you think about the split decision?
Yeah, it
Because
should have
it
been.
shouldn't have been no. It should have been
Yeah.
no split decision last night, man.
Nah, man.
They was trying to rob that boy, man. That would have been
I
a
mean,
stain on PBC if they would have robbed that boy last night. Because it was a clear win for Resendez, man. He
yeah,
spanked that boy
yeah,
last. I'm a big Caleb Plant fan. I ain't gonna lie, but it was just weird because it was like he was in the pocket with him. He was staging to look good. Like it's like Plant was out there fighting to look good last night. It was kind of weird. I'm like, bro, is you fighting or you fighting to look good? Like, I mean, we see I like the fight fit, yeah. Because you know me, I'm a fan. I like to look at the fighters' fits. I'm like, oh yeah, his fight fit fire. Like I like that. Like you know what I'm saying? It's fire. But then Caleb Plant always had some good fire, fight fits when they come out and everything. But it was like he was trying to look too pretty out there last night fighting. Dude, this dude Resendez,
yeah.
he on his ass last night. All pressure, all gas, no brakes last night. And Plant sitting back there trying to be pretty and stuff, bro. Ain't time to be pretty. It's time to get in the trenches and get with it right now. It's time to
Yeah,
put in
man.
work. It's time to put some work in, man. You got your wife out there, pregnant and everything. She watching you, you know what I mean? You need to put some work in. Like, you know what I mean? And Plant, Resendez, one thing about Plant that people ain't noticed, this is a crazy stat, because I sat back and thought about this morning. In his 3 fights, he lost to 3 Mexicans. Lost to
So
Canelo,
I see you,
David
Mike. Yeah,
Benavidez, and now
Mike Ware.
Resendez. He lost to 3 Mexicans in his 3 losses. That's something to know right there for boxing fans right there. Of the fact that Caleb Plant, in his 3 losses, he lost to 3 Mexican fighters in his 3 losses with Canelo, David Benavidez, and Resendez last night. And that was just no, that was a lackluster performance from Plant.
Hey, Mike, you there?
I hear him a
Can you
little.
hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
now I can
okay,
hear you
okay.
now.
I hear you a little bit better. Yeah.
All right, man. I'm trying to get my phone turned around. Y'all can hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you for sure. We can hear you for sure.
Oh, no. Here. You know what? Before this Caleb Plant fight happened, I called him losing. This dude, when he after he beat Jared Hurd, I saw the gas tank
But when
hit.
you call them losing though.
I called it before the fight happened. When I
Okay,
didn't
okay.
remember I didn't remember the opponent's name, but when I researched
Yeah.
it and I remember the fight I saw when he had with Jared Hurd, I know he has a high gas tank. And I know Caleb Plant normally burns out around round 5, 5, 6. So I
Yeah, his
knew
stamina, his endurance and stamina definitely was limited too last
that's
night. And
what it is,
Resendez
bro.
was going to that body though. Resendez was going to that body, and Caleb Plant didn't go to the body much as I usually see him last night as well too, which was kind of
Mm-hmm.
weird. I'm like, bro, Caleb Plant, why you ain't going to this man's body? Like, bro, you're bigger than this guy, like from height, and everything. Like, bro, go to this man's body. Like, that's what I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
bro. He was
Yep.
fighting like he was trying to look pretty last night. Like, bro, this ain't the Caleb Plant I'm accustomed to seeing. I wasn't feeling that Caleb Plant last night. He wasn't fighting to fight Jamal Charlo. Jamal Charlo fought to fight Caleb Plant last night in his fight with Thomas LaManna. Caleb Plant was trying to get a check and look
All right, there
pretty
I go.
and go home and do with his thing. You know what I'm saying, with the family. You know what I'm saying? That's what it looked like. Like Caleb,
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
agree.
see
Now
no
here's
hunger. I didn't see the hunger from Caleb Plant last night. I didn't see no hunger from him as I usually see
Right.
because I always kind of one thing that made me a fan of Caleb because I always like felt like he fights with a passion in all of his fights, and I didn't see that same passion. So that last night that performance really like kind of like it made me feel some type of way. I ain't gonna lie, as a Caleb Plant fan, it made me feel some type of way that I didn't see that hunger and passion from him last night, man. For real, like that. I gotta really voice that for real.
I'm gonna say it like this. That was exactly how I expected it. Caleb Plant beat David Benavidez for 5 or 6 rounds. This fight, he was gassed after 3 rounds. And I knew after that, homeboy, when he comes through on that swarm, it ain't no stopping him. And I caught when I caught
Resendez was on his tail last night, bro. He coming in there
I
like
know.
he
I'm like,
throwing punches with bunches, bro. Punches with bunches, like
Yeah.
he was catching them at right angles last night, bro. Like it was. I give it. Hey, salute to Resendez, Armando Resendez. He put on a great performance last night for real. Like that
and you wanna
fight,
know
Yeah.
the
like
bad
how
part
they
about
said,
it?
He kept
115, 113, a split decision.
It
Like,
was
come
no
yeah.
split
on, bro.
It
decision.
was like
I had
it was like
Resendez
when
winning at least
Resendez
8 rounds out of 12. I had him winning
when
eight to
Resendez
4.
And you wanna know the
when he was
bad
getting
part about it,
past
bro?
If anybody say 9-3, if you got Resendez winning 9-3, I'm not even mad at that for real. This fight was not close last night. It was
And
not
I'm
like Caleb Plant got spanked last night. He got spanked,
oh
and
yeah.
I'm on record saying it myself that I'm on Caleb Plant. He got spanked last night. It wasn't close.
Exactly.
The judges,
Yeah.
they gotta relax, man. They gotta relax, bro. I know PBC. Yeah, y'all know the Rod them boys. That would have been nasty last night. That would have been nasty. They would try to ride Resendez. I would have been definitely on my channel talking about it right now. Dead ass.
you wanna know the bad part about it? Isn't this like one of his first 168 fights? Am I right?
Resendez.
Yeah,
I
Resendez
think
beat
I
Hearn
think
at
Resendez.
160.
I want to say this is definitely like one of his like first or second fight at 168.
That's the
I
bad
believe.
part. He's a 160 pounder. And he came through and did that to Plant. Plant doesn't have the gas tank to beat him.
Facts.
And I'll
Yeah.
be out on about the Charlo thing. Yeah, I think Charlo only let him stay in so long because he's been out for a year and a half and he needs to get the rounds in.
Hey, salute to my man Ohio runs boxing. That
Ohio
Marcus
runs
not my brother,
boxing.
man.
What's going on,
Salute to you,
man?
brother.
What's good? Yeah, man. Like you were saying, man. Pretty much.
Well,
Um,
get your take on that on
Resendez.
the Jamar Charlo, Mike.
It's like
On
Resendez
what?
was definitely
Jamar Charlo.
Okay, no.
Resendez was
I think
definitely
Charlo could have stopped him probably after the second round, but Charlo needed to get rounds in because he ain't fought in a year and a half. He was just playing, man. Homeboy was up there trying to act cocky with him, and then Charlo would punch him around the ring. I mean, what you expect when your nickname is Cornflake?
yeah,
I'm just being
yeah.
real.
Can y'all hear me?
we
Yeah.
hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I just feel like Resendez, as far as that one, it just like I know you had mentioned you and Mike was mentioning how the stamina of Plant looked after 5 and 6 rounds. But it was like at that moment, from 5 all the way throughout, Resendez conditioning was consistent. His pace didn't let up. He stayed consistent.
Right.
Yeah, he did.
And that to
No, it
me,
really picked up round 4.
yeah.
Wow. And playing had his hands down a lot. Like he was, bro,
Yeah.
like,
His
like
defense
come on.
defensive leaks were crazy.
He's been so inactive, though. I mean,
No, Caleb Plant fought last year. He fought McCombie last year. He had a great showing last year versus McCombie
he
last year,
got
y'all.
outdone by
Maybe.
Trevor McCumbee. I'm like, that's when I saw that. I don't know. I don't know about Cat. I mean, we just
I
trying to
mean,
see
he
when he
getting up
built
to
why
age.
Caleb Plant
It's
was
it's
champ.
it's it's the thing is, last night, like I said, I felt like Caleb Plant. I feel like I didn't see the hunger and passion that I usually see from him. So that's my problem that I have with him. I'm like, where's the hunger and passion? Like, I understand you got the family, you have made great money in boxing and everything. You know what I'm saying? You're a little bit more comfortable. But I didn't see the hunger from Caleb Plant that he wanted to win this fight so he can fight Charlo for a big money fight at 168 last night. I didn't see that within him last night.
He
Hey,
did what
hey,
he did
Cam.
what he does every fight. He fades.
Right.
He
Hey, Cam
fades,
J.
man. That's just him.
Yeah.
Did you read the comment above, Adam? Miss Cam J said, "I keep hearing a weird in and out after every word you say, Cam."
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a long time ago, I think. Yeah. Are we good? Do I'm good. Y'all hear me good?
Yeah, I hear
Yeah, I
you.
can hear you.
Okay. All right. We good. We good. We good.
Can you
We
hear
good. Let's
me?
get right. Yeah.
Yeah, I can
You
hear you, Matt.
sound good. You sound perfect.
Cool.
What else were you talking about? Yeah, I mean, I thought the
Oh,
fights were good last night. We already knew Cornflake was outmatched, and I called it that
Yeah.
Brandon was getting beat. A pressure
yeah,
fighter will always beat a pure boxer unless a pure boxer is on the level of a Muhammad Ali, Floyd Mayweather, or Pernell Whitaker. A pressure boxer will always beat a pure boxer unless they're
yeah.
on another
A
level.
mediocre boxer.
Hmm?
If they're
You
elite,
on to something?
if they're elite, like
You say
Ali, like you
what?
said, the ones you said, they're elite. Them elite boxers beat a pressure fighter.
No. I got it wrong. For a pure boxer to beat a pressure fighter, they have to be on a different level. They just go in there and they box and just try to throw punches just to get around. When you're fighting a pressure fighter, they're throwing punches until they can't throw anymore. Most pure boxers can't handle that.
Right. All
That's
right.
what
Yeah,
I'm
Well,
getting
I
at.
agree. I agree with that take.
Most pure
I agree with
boxers
that.
cannot handle the constant pressure from a pressure fighter. They run out of when they do all that little love taps. When that pressure fighter comes for every one punch they throw, you have a pressure fighter throwing five of them. They eventually run out. So when you're in those situations with the true pressure fighter, unless you're an elite, you're not gonna beat them. That's what I'm getting at. That's all I'm saying. Does that make sense?
So you saying Caleb Plant ain't elite? Then you saying that?
Yes, I am saying that.
Okay.
I've never
Okay.
considered Caleb Plant
Get some
elite.
understanding. You just get some understanding.
Caleb
That's
Plant is
cool.
a good
That's cool.
boxer, but he can't. And he's not gonna beat a swarmer like that. I'm just saying. I'm just being honest.
I mean, you said. Like I said, you see, notice that in his three losses, he lost to three Mexican fighters.
Yep,
You know,
and they're
Caleb.
all pressure fighters.
Canelo's not a he's not a big pressure fighter, but he'll bring the pressure when he see weaknesses, and he definitely brought the pressure to Caleb and
yeah.
stopped him in that fight. And then you see
Caleb
David
started
Benavidez.
good.
David Benavidez
Caleb
put the
started
pressure
good that
on him,
fight. It was
and then
only about
Resendez last
50-50.
night. So I mean, in reality, like you said, like pressure is a problem for Caleb for sure. It's definitely a
Yeah. Eventually
problem
catches up. It catches up with him. He'll
for
do good
sure.
the first
That's a
couple
fact.
rounds. He'll look pretty slick, but after a while, all that goes out the window.
Facts.
Yep.
Um, the next topic, y'all. What do y'all think? Is Moses Itauma, is he who everybody say he is?
You don't need an
Uh,
answer on it.
Go ahead. I want to hear it. I want to hear it. Go first. I
I
want to
want to
hear
pass
it.
the test for him because I saw a lot of flaws in his jabs and all of that. He fought a 42-year-old prospect, and he's over here gloating like he's happy. He needs to, for me to say that he's on a certain level, I need to see him fight. Let me think of somebody. Ask the test, throwing Dillian White. Throwing Dillian White or somebody. Derek Charoza.
Dillian?
That's both England level of competition. Throw one of them in, and then I'll be able to give a better assumption of him. But the way I saw him jabbing and moving around the ring, I can't put him on a level where he thinks he is right now. That's just me. Maybe y'all see it different.
All right, Cam
I
J.
ain't mad at it. I ain't mad at it at all. I mean, I ain't mad at it at all. I mean, me personally, Moses, I mean, from a lot of sources, like people I've been talking to within boxing, a lot of people believes that he's the real deal. They believe he's the real deal. They believe he's one of the next one. And if you seen that fight he just had, you know what I'm saying? Definitely handle business, gentleman like, gladiator like, you know what I mean? Like, so I like what I'm seeing from Moses right now for sure. Now, do I believe that he definitely need to, with him being like he's the number one WBO contender right now. So like, kind of go to the rankings and kind of see like the guys in the WBO that he could possibly fight. Let me go up and look this up real quick while we
And let
here.
me ask y'all
Do
this
you have
We
him?
question:
gotta we gotta
while
we gotta look
while
that
you
up.
researching,
We gotta
Cam,
see who we can match him up. Go ahead, go ahead,
Do
I'm
go
about
ahead,
to
go ahead,
say.
bro.
would you have him beating
So,
Joseph Parker, or I'm gonna throw somebody else in there? Let me think.
well, let's do
Do you
this
have him
then,
beating
Mike.
Joseph Parker? Heavyweight
Let,
division
let,
ain't deep right now.
let me ask both of y'all this, since we talk about Moses, right?
Mhm.
If you could line up 3 fights for Moses, give me the 3 guys you would line him up with, like stair steps. Like, give me
Okay,
3
I
guys.
have it. Jared
Oh, now I
Anderson,
got it now.
Jared Anderson, Zile Zhang, and then Joseph Parker.
Okay,
Okay.
so right now, looking at the WBO rankings, though, currently, of course, he's number one. Philip Herkovic is number two, which we already heard about. Herkovic and Frank Sanchez, they about to get it cracking with a fight coming up soon. You know what I mean? Zilly Zhang, he number three. We just seen, Caviel, he just packed him up. So like, people. I mean, even though that's a nice test, like Zali Zane, but I don't. Do you think Frank Warren is willing to put him in there with Zali Zane right now, with
No,
him
I'm
having
I'm
the
a, I'm
number
gonna throw you
one
the fight.
contender status? I don't see that happening. That's a dangerous fight for Moses, and Frank Warren know it too, because he ain't even put him on the little list that he had for him and stuff recently. What? Hey, Bean, do you remember what was the two names that they had for Moses?
I remember for a while they had been kept saying Martin Bacoli, but then in the same breath, Frank Warren was saying, "Oh, Bacoli ain't gonna do nothing for us. He's slow. He's he's slow footed and trying to like downplay him." But come on,
Didn't you
man, you
see
I
him
know
don't see,
Martin
downplay the
Bacoli is
but
a
that was
threat.
fight?
Frank Warren though. That was Frank Warren, right? Why
Mm-hmm.
Frank Warren? What's up with him, man? It's like he trying to slow step Moses a little bit, man. Like he ain't got the confidence in him 100%. And that's what I'm believing and starting to hear from him. I'm like, bro, that's a nice step up fight for him. Is Martin McCody in the WBO rankings? No, he's not currently. But no, you got guys like, okay, one thing I know they ain't gonna do is I know, well, I ain't gonna say Freddie Warren per se, but top rank, Jared Anderson, he's number 5 in the WBO.
That's
That'd
a
be a
good pick.
nice
That's who
fight.
Mike said first.
Moses,
Yep.
uh, Moses Tom, and Jared Big Baby Anderson. Great fight right there. Now we get to
Yeah.
see what both of these prospects is about, fight each other, and see who's going to be that next one. But we know both companies is not going to match them up right now. We know that. So then you
You
go
want me to
up.
tell you the
What's
best fight?
next?
You,
Is it a good fight? Is it a good fight for him to fight Derek Chisora?
I think it'd be a good fight. That's the acid test.
Yeah, I think it'd be a good fight because you know people use him as that gatekeeper, like Usyk
Right.
fought Chisora, and then a
I'm
few
gonna tell you the
guys.
best fight. I'm gonna tell you the best fight. Since he talked about he wanted to be the first, he said he would beat Mike Tyson and being champ. Throw him the Fabio Wardley winner. Since he thinks that
See,
he's on that
Frank
level,
Warren won't do
throw him
that.
the war.
He won't do
I
Yeah, that
know,
that.
I
might be too
know.
Frank Warren's
risky.
scared to
Throw him
do
That's
the
that.
too.
winner.
That's
He's
too
scared to do that.
too much of a slippery slope.
That's the slippery slope.
What's the
But
point of
if
having
he's as
all these
good as he
heavyweights if
says,
you ain't gonna
throw him
use
to the
them and fight each
Fabio
other though?
Wardley versus what's his name winner. That'll if he that's a sink or swim fight. You win or you get knocked out. I'm just
But
being
but
honest. He think if he wants to be on that
I'm
elite
right
level,
with you, Mike.
Mike Tyson did
I'm
it, Floyd Mayweather did it, all of them did it. Throw him in there with the Fabio Wardley winner, and that'll let us see how he really is.
But I'm
That'll
right with
oversee
you, bro.
everything.
Frank Warren won't do it, bro. He won't do it. I'm like, nah, this is my thing. What's the point of having these heavyweights on your stable and you not using them? Now
Right.
you
Right.
like, bro, like, come on, Fabio. We need to see what Fabio Warley like too. Well, hey, if you think Moses is really that guy, put him against Fabio after Fabio
That's
have his
how I
next fight.
feel.
If he
That's
get past
exactly how I
Justice,
feel.
the guy
You
Justin
can't be
Huoney, if
scared
he
to
get
throw him out
past him,
there.
because Justin Huoney ain't no easy test for 100% for Fabio Warley in the same sense as well. I mean, I see that Eddie Hearn and some guys they a little high on him over there, so that's his fight to really pay attention to it within. Even though Huoney is replacing. No, Big Baby Miller was Big Baby Miller. He's a whole other case,
Mm-hmm.
nutcase right now. The men up here on Instagram and stuff talking, bro, you should have been fighting Fabio Woodley. You know, all when he talking nothing. You better get a matchup locked in, man. I don't want to hear no Big Baby
Oh,
Miller
you
talking
heard
nothing
this?
right now. I'm sick of him. You should be
They talking
fighting
about running
Fabio
back
Woodley.
Joshua versus Miller.
But what pissed me off about Big Baby Miller was the fact that he did all of that extra shit in the
Yeah.
daggone press conference and all of that, and you ain't
Right.
fighting him right now. That's what pissed me
Right.
off about him.
Right.
Like you did
Yeah,
all
Right.
of
you
that,
right
and
about that
we ain't
about
got
Big
no
Ben.
fight.
I mean, that was embarrassing what he did to dude. I'm like, he said he did a rap song about him and all of that. And I'm like,
Right.
I couldn't even find it.
Man, you see that? For
You
real.
ain't see
He like,
that?
oh,
He said he did a
he
rap
did a
song
rap
about
song
him.
about me. Like he took it personal. Like he acted a fool up
Mm-hmm.
there, turn the tables over and everything. He acted
Acting. Yeah.
like, bro, come on.
He's
And y'all
crashing
ain't
out.
fighting right
Mm-hmm.
now. So I have a problem. You crashing out and you ain't even fighting this man. Now I got a problem as a fan.
I agree
As
with
a
you
fan,
on
I got
that.
a
Yeah.
problem. All that crash out, I need you running that back with that man. I need you to see that man. You
Mm-hmm.
got to see him.
He did the same thing to Anthony Joshua. Remember, Anthony Joshua walked to shake his hand. He pushed him back and
Yeah, he
was
pushed him.
talking about his
Yeah.
mom and everything. I'm like, why are you gonna do all
It's
that
an
if you ain't
act. At,
fighting?
at this point, it's all an act. At this
That's what
point,
it
it's
is.
all an act.
Exactly.
I don't even
Exactly
take.
what
You
it
can't even
is.
take him serious now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
He
you're
hurting
about right.
himself. He's starting to hurt his own self. Now, speaking of that, though, what you were talking about, Cam J, with Moses on your last pod, he's going to be fighting on the Usyk and Dubois card, right?
Right. They
But they
didn't
don't have an
announce the
opponent yet,
name of
right?
who he's going to fight. They haven't announced the name, but I mean,
Okay.
if Frank Warren is smart, you keep it within, a contender within the WBL rankings. Keep it, knowing him on how he's been talking and how he sounds, it sounds like he's going to try to keep it with a safe fight. So you're going to see him fight one of them guys between that 8 to 15 range. Maybe a David Adelaide. You know what I'm saying? Maybe
Run
some
him if his
guy
Yeah.
like
hands
him.
tied up.
I mean, Johnny Fisher or Otto Wallen.
Yeah, Wallen.
You
Yeah, that'd be a good one. Yeah.
can see something like that. You know what I mean? This is gonna be a
Mm-hmm.
safe fight for him, and when he looks good, they want like Frank Warren from how he's talking. He sounds like he's trying to put him in this next show and this next no fight for him for as a fight where he's gonna look good. You know what I mean? And those opponents that I just named, like I don't even know these guys. Vladislav, Sarenko. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't see these guys. You know what I mean? No, Mir Gaziv, you know what I'm saying? So it's like
Yeah.
you could don't even be surprised you see these names fight him as well because they are part of the WBO rankings. So I see it definitely being contender in the WBO rankings. So I'm very interested though that what he does. I mean, and the thing too, Moses is ranked number 3 in the WBA, and he's not ranked in the WBC currently. In the IBF, he's not ranked in the IBF. Well, he's ranked number 7 in the IBF currently right now. So, but it looked like, obviously, like I said, he has the number 1 ranking for the WBO. So that's what Frank Warren he's pushing. He's pushing for him to get that WBO title.
What about Manuel Char for Moses?
Hell no.
Who?
Manuel Char is trash. Don't put him in there with him. Manuel Char, no.
Nah,
The man
I
got
ain't
shot
even
up.
familiar with him. I ain't gonna lie. I
I
gotta
know who
be
he
honest. I
is.
ain't familiar
No.
with him. Now
He's
he
from the
is number
Kentucky area.
10 in the WBA. Looking at the rankings, he is number 10 in the WBA, but like he ain't in the WBO at all though. I would say that. That's the only rankings he's in is the WBA.
I tell him to fight Dillian White, but they talk about Dillian White and Joshua running it back, right?
Dillian White.
Man, Joshua, man, I done
Oh,
heard Dillian White and I done heard Big Baby Anderson name for
Anderson.
Joshua.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't want to see that. I don't even think Top Rank is willing to give Big Baby Anderson to Joshua like that. I don't even think they're gonna feed him to him like that. No
I
Dylan.
don't know.
Right.
Yeah, I don't see that fight happen. Now, Dillian White, I mean, how many times was they scheduled? They were scheduled to fight several times.
I'm talking about White versus Atuma, Moses.
White
Charles
versus
Martin called him
Latuma.
out. Charles Martin
Moses
called out
Atuma. I'm talking about
Moses.
do that fight.
And then, hey, real talk, that's possible for Latuma. Charles Martin, that's possible.
He'll
That's
beat Charles
possible.
Martin.
Try to make it, try to see, him, he wipe off, wipe the nose with Charles Martin and do something that Jared Big Baby Anderson didn't get the chance to do
Now
because
that
he went
makes
Did you
all,
sense.
did you
10
hear did you
rounds
hear what
with him.
Charles Martin said? Did you hear what
What?
he
What
said?
did he mention something with Moses recently?
Okay, what happened was he called out Moses, right? But then he was saying when he fought Big Baby Anderson, he didn't have a full camp.
He
He said if he
didn't.
fights
That was like a
Moses,
6 day
he'll
Yeah,
be
that
all the
period.
is
way
true.
prepared.
He
That
only had
is
six
true.
days.
And that's one thing I can say about him.
You
Charles
get the
Martin,
coat, the
he be wanting
shivers
to
for
smoke.
real? Oh my god. Yeah, man. Yeah. Now, Charles Martin, he definitely didn't have a full camp versus Big Baby Anderson, but he had enough time. He had enough time. So we ain't gonna say he can't sit there and be like he had like it was like Josh Padley with Shakur where like he just got off the plane 48
Off the
hours and
couch.
he played
Right.
Shakur and Stevenson. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like nothing like that. He had a couple of weeks. He had a what I'm saying, a
Was
good
it
Right.
2 to
days?
4 week period. He almost like a full month. So he was ready. And then Charles Martin was a guy that's always working out, staying a little active and stuff, just in case if he gets the call. You never
Right.
know. In the heavyweight division, you're saying, like with all of the promoters that they have in the heavyweight division, mainly Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren, and those guys, you might get a call for them to fight one of their heavyweights. You never know. They got a lot of them. So, no,
Yeah.
Charles Martin was a guy that's always, been staying ready, you know what I'm saying, so he don't have to get ready. You know what
So
I
you have to
mean?
get
So
ready.
that little
Hmm.
explanation was kind of ass because you fought good in the fight. You almost won the fight. You almost stopped him. You almost stopped Big Baby towards the end, to be honest. I mean, some people thought
Right.
you was going to stop him, but, it is what it is. Big Baby won the fight. You ain't trying to run it back, so you going to miss me with the excuses after that. You know what I mean?
Here's a
Hmm.
question. You notice there ain't no more American heavyweights left.
Hey,
Yeah, because
what y'all see that kid?
the last
Hold
guy, Mike
on,
Malongan,
I
just
gotta
got
do.
laid
Hey,
out.
y'all see the kid Josh Edwards that Oscar De La Hoya got from Golden Boy?
No, I'm not hip to him.
Hey, dude, cold, bro. He cold. He, I think he like 2-0, 3-0. He a prospect. You know what I'm saying? He
Hmm.
green right now, but he got some potential. He got some potential. Just kind of check him out a little bit. Try to check his amateur background and check out his couple of little profiles that he got. He nice, man. I like what I'm seeing a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying that he the goods and he the one.
But we gotta pay attention to him. You know what I'm saying? He coming up, man. Oscar, he's starting to push him a little bit. You know what I mean? So everybody keep the eye out on that kid for sure, man. Like I seen some good. He just fought recently too. I gotta mess around and look it up real quick. He just fought the other day though, and Oscar trying to push that kid as one of the next big American heavyweights right now. So tap
Okay,
in with
I gotta
him.
check him
I'm
Boy.
out
out
for
to watch
sure.
him.
Yeah, I'm really interested in seeing. Um, Next topic. What's up with Shakur Stevenson versus William Zepeda? What's your prediction?
Technically, technically, if you look at it, Zepeda should beat him. Unless Shakur can show that he's another level of pure boxer, Zepeda should win that fight. In all honesty, he should win it. Unless I see something else from Shakur that he could step it up and he has enough power to keep him off. If not, Zepeda's gonna run right through him. There's nothing else I can say about it.
What you think, Cam?
Let me ask you this. You think that Zepeda, you honestly think Zepeda gonna win the fight? Clear? Like
I don't
clear?
know. I'm just saying, technically, by the styles, he should
Right.
win.
You going by the staff.
But we have to
Okay.
see if Shakur is that fighter, is that pure boxer that can step it up and stop a pressure fighter's speed and output. That's what I'm saying. If Shakur can't stop it, he's gonna lose. But if he shows he's a special fighter, then he might be able to win. But I haven't seen that. I
What?
haven't seen that from Shakur.
Right. I feel you. I'm right along with you, man. My
Yeah,
one
you
thing
felt
I
that
kind of had
way.
a theory of. One thing I had a theory about though was listening to Shakur talk about this fight in certain no capacity a little bit. It sounded like he felt like he don't fear Zepeda's power as much from how he's talking. So that's kind of made me had a little thought about it the last couple of days because listening to him he's like, man, because I seen a little clip for him in the interview. I forgot who it was with. I think it was with Showbiz. And he was, saying that he was gonna do whatever it takes to win the fight and stuff. But I done heard Shakur say stuff like this, you know what I mean, beforehand. You know what I'm saying? But he had a little different demeanor a little bit because he did kind of mention that he was like, man, I'm gonna fight. Like I'm gonna fight in the pocket with him a little bit. So and everybody watch Cam Good Network. I watch sorry but not sorry. Boxing talk, man. I always been on point. And I've been saying with Shakur with this fight with him to pay. I'm like, I want to see Shakur bang. I want to see him bang and fight with him. I don't want to see no running from him. You know what I mean? I want to see him fight with this man because you see Zepeda and they team. They already market that narrative. They market that narrative like, we want you to stand in the ring and fight with us. You know what I mean?
Right,
And they
right.
feel like if you don't fight with us, they feel like you're a coward. You know what I mean? So I like the narrative that Zepeda running, and it kind of remind me a little bit similar to like how like the Devin and Ryan fight kind of measured up a little bit because you remember like it wasn't even Ryan like their team pressuring him saying the fight on the middle. Like I think it was kind of like a fan thing for us Devin. Like I think that like Devin and Bill was listening to the fans and they was like, oh, we gonna fight in the middle with Ryan and stuff. And they telling Ryan like, we gonna fight in the middle, we gonna kill you. Duh, 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 duh. And I mean, he did it, and then Devin got killed. so like, I
Here's the
don't know,
thing,
bro.
though.
Like, you know
Have
what I'm
you
saying?
seen
Well,
Zepeda,
the picture?
I want to say this. I like Zepeda having that narrative. That one to make him fight in the middle and really bang it out a little bit at times. So I'm saying I want to see Shakur stand in the pocket, how he was standing in the pocket versus Padley versus Arnold. I want to see all of that with Zepeda. I want to see that. And I think Shakur thinks Zepeda power ain't as much. In my opinion, I don't think Zepeda is a big power puncher. I feel like he's a punches and bunches guy, kind of similar to I don't think David Benavidez's power is crazy. I think his power is decent, But I think David Benavidez has more power than a guy like Will Zepeda. But I don't think Zepeda's power is like really like crazy to me. It's just like them punches the bunches, it just accumulated. It gets you out of there after a while. You know what I mean? But I don't think he's knocking out Shakur in this fight. I think it's a decision type of fight. But the styles, you know what I'm saying? Shakur gonna have to get gritty, man. He gotta get in the trenches in
Yeah.
this fight for real. Rob, was good,
Hey, shout
brother?
outs to Rob Elmo. What's going on, fam? In Vegas. What's going on?
Hey, I'll get back with y'all. I gotta go, but good talking to y'all tonight.
For
All right,
sure, brother. For
likewise,
sure. You already
man.
know, Mike.
All right.
Take care. So speaking of that, Cam J, so Zepeda, since we can't, or at least we're not at the moment, getting Tank versus Shakur, I feel like Zepeda is a great style and a great test. Zepeda is a great
Yeah,
test for Shakur.
facts. Most definitely.
It's gonna
Most
make
definitely.
him show the best
Really,
version of
this
himself.
realistic style wise, yeah, this is the best, fight for Shakur. And Zepeda, they both been kind of like back and forth with this fight. Zepeda and Doug Shakur and stuff, a couple of times with negotiations and stuff. So, like, this is a fight that's been a long time in the making and everything. And I'm glad that they finally got this fight happening. Yeah, we're going to get to see it. And like I said, bro, it comes down to a close decision. Shakur, like, real talk. I'm in the belief that I don't think Turkey don't mess with Shakur like that more than a lot of other people feel that they met how he messed with Shakur. That's my personal belief. And I think Shakur needs to win this fight clear as possible. Win it clear as possible. Because Turkey has a great relationship with Oscar De La Hoya. Oscar De La Hoya sold Ring Magazine to Turkey. He
Mm-hmm.
basically almost sold pretty much his company, Go Boy, to Turkey. You know what I'm saying? That boy, Shakur ain't in the best graces with Turkey. Man had to apologize publicly to him. You know what I mean? Better read between the lines and read the room, man. Shakur need to win this fight clear. And just my personal opinion, he need to get away from them guys over there. They gonna try to mess his career, but I don't think Shakur has had a great presence as far as since he's been with Eddie Hearn. I don't think his career has blossomed how he wants and how it should, to be honest. I feel like Shakur could be way better off. I thought he would have been better off if he stayed the top rank, honestly. They would have been better fighters, would have been still making a similar money. You probably would have been making more money. Would have been making more money than you're making right now. Honestly, you know what I mean? For real, be honest, but because you ain't making, you're not making more than what you're making in the top rank. What is like? It's like we question it, like, why you over there? You went over there to Eddie Hearn. Ain't no fights over there for you, for real. The guys that you trying to fight is Oscar De La Hoya guys, and you really wanted to fight. No, Kid Austin, William Zepeda, you could have did what Oscar De La Hoya asked from the jump and said, sign on the Golden Boy to fight my two guys, these two guys, Kid Austin, William Zepeda, they both won the contract. Could have easily did that if he really wanted to fight those guys right when away. Like, you know what I mean? This is simple stuff I'll be trying to read, have people read between the lines and stuff like that. Like, I think
Yeah, already
Shakur
know.
makes it hard. He makes it hard that make certain fights happen on his behalf. Like, that's what we was talking about on the round table last night when we was talking about, like, as far as, like, some of these fighters, like, they put a lot of they put all of it on Tank. Like, it is not on Tank all the time. Some of these guys
Right.
that want to fight Tank, they got to make initiative too. They got to put
Right.
initiative too if they want to fight Tank. That's the
Yep.
problem right now in reality.
Mm-hmm.
These guys, Tank reached out to Loma, he reached out to Shakur. These guys ain't want to fight. So that's why we
Yeah.
got the Lamar Rose fight. You know what I mean? And then they had a controversial fight where it was a draw, and now we got the rematch happening August 16th. You know what I mean? So, like, this is where we're at with it. Now Shakur, he fights with the Payton. Hopefully, both of these guys, they can get past both of their opposition to where hopefully we can see a fight with Shakur Stevenson and Tank Davis, possibly end of 2025. I won't see it 2025. I maybe see early 2026, maybe. I mean, that's where I'm at. It's really dependent on what's going on with Lomachenko too. Like, what's the problem with Lomachenko? Like, where you at? Like, bro, you holding up the division with this IBF title. Like, it's time for Lomachenko. Like, bro, either you gonna retire or you gonna have to give up this title. Muratala, he's the guy standing behind to get the IBF title. Like, let him be champion and do his thing and make his run. Like, you holding up the division because we don't know what you doing at 135 holding on to that IBF title. Retire or give up the title, man.
Mm-hmm.
So many fighters got to stop holding up the division, man. Like Tyson Fury, right? He ain't got no title, but he hold up the heavyweight division and stuff on him playing around saying he retiring.
He retired, like, right.
Yeah, we talked about it the other day, cuz you already know.
Yeah. Yep, he wants to think he playing mind games like that's a cool thing to do, but ain't nobody feeling that.
Thanks.
Rob Elmore
said this should be about Shakur's.
He would be free again.
It should be about Shakur's last fight with her, and he would be a free agent. Let's see what he does. Yeah, facts, bro. Like, this is supposed to be Shakur's last fight on the deal, and I'm going to continue to say this to Shakur. Shakur, figure it out, man. Figure it out, bro. Like, if you just think logical, what's going on over there? Like, if Shakur stays over there with Eddie Hearn in Turkey, he's supposed to be the Riyadh season ambassador too as well. So this add that into context as well for his situation. Like, him supposed to be his last fight on the deal with Eddie Hearn in natural boxing. Yeah, it sounds like he's gonna stay over there, and if he stays over there, it sounds like he's staying over there for money. But my thing is, like I said before, if you're not making more money than you was with your other situation with Top Rank, then what are we doing here? Like, what are we doing here? Why do you have Eddie Hearn in your money? Because Eddie Hearn, he ain't set you up with a main event card like he did with Boots Ennis. Boots Ennis, he main evented
like a Bud Crawford type situation where, to get that bigger fight, if that opportunity is there, you better jump on it. Like the time that Bud could have got
with PBC. Like these guys they just want to get guaranteed money. They just want guaranteed money, bro. That's all they want right now. They want guaranteed money, bro. They don't want to try to become a superstar and sell their brand. They want the work to be done for them. It's that clear. It's simply that clear right now. Like in Shakur, like the thing is, you have the opportunity after this fight to become a free agent. Then you can try to make any fight you want in any promotional company. You a free agent. So let's see some action from Shakur. Let's see some initiative. We don't want to see you go back to Matchroom and try to fight Joe Cordina. We don't want to see that. Just being real. That's the type of time that Shakur be on, bro. It's like, we know if you're fighting over a Matchroom, you're going to be fighting a lot of European bums that Eddie Hearn feed to you that we don't want to see.
Right, exactly.
You don't have no fighters for you at 135 besides Andy Cruz. Like, Andy Cruz is the only guy at 135 that he has that's significant for him, and we know he ain't going to feed you to him.
Right. Hold on, I got another topic here. Hold on. What about the Dubois versus Usyk rematch? Because a lot of people are really believing in the fact that Dubois can land that Hail Mary, that he might land that punch, and all it takes is one. People think Dubois can do it.
What you think? What you think, though? You really think Dubois can stop him in this rematch? I need to hear it
Um,
from you, man. I gotta hear it.
it's kind of like I'm leaning towards the skills of Usyk, but like many other people were saying, we can't sit up here and say that Usyk don't get hit at all. He does get hit. It's just
Right.
usually he's never been hit with a combination. Normally they'll get a one or two punches in, but they're not getting those 3 and 4 punches. But if he can, the way he can hit to the body, and if it's a clean body shot though, it can't be no borderline questionable. He got to make sure it's a clean, no disputed body shot. But if the ball can land enough body shots, he can slow down Usyk, and if he can cut off the ring like he needs to. But it's easier said than done. But hey, the ball got different type of power.
You think it's a 50-50 fight now? Well, what's your percentage on the fight? You sound like you leaning 50-50 a little bit.
I would say,
Or 55, or
I would say
55
60.
Dubois, 45 Usyk.
Yeah, I would say at least 60-40, and I still lean towards Usyk just because he's better all around skilled.
Okay. You still got Usyk.
He's better skilled.
I feel like you got a little faith in Dubois this fight a little bit more than you had before. That's what I'm hearing in you, though. I'm hearing it in you, cuz.
I just don't feel like. I just feel like this
Yeah,
time.
I ain't mad at it, dog. I got Usyk 55-45. I think it's Usyk 55-45 right now between them two. Like, this is going to be a good fight, man.
Yeah, it's a good breakdown. Yeah. Yeah, about 55.
It's a good fight, man. I'm not counting out Dubois. I like Dubois, man. I like him. I like
think he's
what
hungry.
he stands for
I
and
think he's
everything.
real hungry right
I
now.
like the run that he's currently on. Yeah, he's very hungry.
Because think about
Especially
it.
for this one.
Those
This
guys,
one, man.
yeah, it's a good breakdown. Exactly.
This one is this it. He's ready for this.
This is it. Facts. Because most guys, they get kind of lackluster, or they get so relaxed, or they're like, okay, I got a lot of money, I ain't gonna really. But he seemed like, look, we fighting here in UK. I'm gonna have my fan base out here. I gotta put on. I gotta bring it home. It's like he got a lot riding on this right now. A lot of pressure. I think Dubois is gonna be on a different, like a more of a locked in lion mentality. Even if he lose, I think he's gonna go out, you know what I'm saying, going crazy.
Hey, I'm back.
Facts.
What's up? You back? What's going on?
Yeah. Now y'all talking about
Mike,
that.
what's good, boy?
That's hard to say. Here it goes with Usyk. Here's the thing I noticed about Dubois. He got a little bit more confident. He's coming out and throwing punches. We know Joshua has a weak chin. Big Betty Miller was 320 when they fought, right?
Yep.
Here it is. Usyk, if he comes out that aggressive, Usyk, that like I tell everybody, when he does that little fade, Usyk is going to counter him so bad. Yes, I do want the ball to win, but in case I have no scenario where the ball do it, it's going to be another. Usyk, he comes out aggressive like that. Usyk is going to step his whole game level up like he did when he knocked him out in that fight, and I don't see what the ball really could do. That's where I'm going with that fight. I mean, I like the ball. I mean, he's shown a lot of improvement, but he's shown aggression. When you come at Usyk with that aggression, Usyk Usyk is waiting on it. He's gonna do his little fade and counter you with that left and right piece you up, and then he's the ball's gonna get frustrated and throw a Hail Mary. Usyk's gonna see it, counter him up. I see it being a good couple fill out rounds, but it's not many heavyweights I can see beating Usyk. And that's in the history of boxing because of his little. He does that fade so good. He'll box you, and then you think that you're getting him. And he does that little slip with his left, and he comes at you with that right and then that left. It, I only see like people like Holyfield, Tyson, and some of the other elites that can stop it. There's not many that can.
Hey, you see Rob? You see Rob's comment? He said, the broad best chance to get Usyk is between rounds 1 and 5. If it goes
Yep.
past 6, he
I think
Exactly.
the
thinks
same
Usyk
thing.
takes him. I like that
Yeah,
take. I
Exactly.
like that
That's
take.
right.
yeah, before he turns
Exactly.
up,
Because
he
he,
really starts to
I
turn
mean,
up in the mid
Usyk fights at
rounds.
such a high pace. Usyk fights at such a high pace. Dubois is not going to be able to keep up his little swarming. From when he's going to start gassing after 4 or 5 rounds the way he's fighting. He could do it with Joshua and all of them, but going there with Usyk, no, no, not at all.
I agree.
Yeah,
I
Yeah,
yeah. And
agree
rest
Usyk,
in
I've
peace
never seen Usyk
to
get
the
I
tired.
feel
original
like that too.
body
Go
snatcher.
ahead, go ahead, B. Like
Rest in
Usyk
peace to
going
Mike
in,
McCallum.
like Usyk taking that fight into to yeah. Rest in peace to Mike McCallum, man, for sure, for sure. Rest in
Mhm.
peace, for sure, definitely legend. Usyk taking Dubois in deep waters. That's gonna be big, man. Usyk he does
Real big.
his best work in the later rounds in a lot of fights,
Mm-hmm.
man. So I definitely agree with
And people
Rob's
forget
take on
about
that for
people forget
sure.
about this. So Usyk has beaten every champ in their backyard. He hasn't
Yes,
broke out to
he
nobody.
is. Facts.
He beat
Facts.
Mm-hmm.
he's from
Yep.
he beat somebody in Russia and he's from the Ukraine. Usyk ain't no
That's
Right.
Usyk ain't scared to
that's
hit them
where a lot of
points.
my respect comes from him for that. Because I like one thing you notice the pattern. Usyk is going down all these guys' backyards, and he's beating
Yep.
all of these guys. On top of that, he's taking straps from them and everything.
Right.
Like
And
Usyk
everything.
is that
Yep.
guy. He is
Like who
that
does that?
guy.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
And then the other part about it, Usyk is taking a Usyk is taking a small side of the purse.
Yeah,
He's not taking Usyk ain't about the money. It's like, dog, you want to? All right, I'll take a little share. I won't take the whole purse. But when I come back and win, and you want a rematch, I want the monster share. That's Usyk. Usyk don't care.
he makes sure he eat good, but he ain't asking for the craziest top dollar like some of the other cats out here. You know what I mean?
Well, he got it that
He makes
Tyson
sure he's
Fury
comfortable.
fight. He got it that Tyson Fury fight, brother. That was shoot. If I got the money he got for them 2 fights, up to my great grandkids, they wouldn't have to work. I'm just being real.
Yeah, Usyk good, man. Like Usyk, I
Yeah.
like
He's sharp
Dubois.
for sure.
This fight is at Wembley Stadium. I definitely suspect them to do some great numbers with this fight.
They're
Some
gonna do
great
great
numbers.
numbers. Here's the thing, but Usyk at Wembley, Usyk is not gonna win it. Well, no, actually, I take that back. Didn't he beat Joshua at Wembley? Was it Wembley he beat him at?
I think it was it
First
Wembley?
fight? First fight was Wembley,
What
wasn't
was
it?
this? Was it the Saudi? I don't know. It
The
was either
second fight
Wembley or
was
Saudi.
Saudi. The first fight was Wembley. He beat him in his backyard.
Hmm. I think
Yeah,
so.
he
I really think
did. Yeah,
he.
he
I
beat
think
him
he
at
fought one of
Yingly.
them fights at Wembley for
Yeah, I
sure.
think one of them was. Yeah.
The
Because
first one was
Joshua
at
was the A
Wembley, and
side.
Usyk thoroughly beat Joshua that fight. Yeah, but here's the thing: we all got to know when you turn 38, you start slowing down. Now, well, how old is Dubois? 28.
He'll be 28 if he ain't. If he's
He's
not,
28.
he'll be 28.
Yeah, that's gonna be something to see. If Usyk slows down, he might. That's the only way I see him losing. If he goes in there and Father Time caught up with him, or if he
Yeah,
gets hit in the
everybody,
stomach.
make sure y'all hit the like button, man. Like JC said, I definitely got to mention that. Everybody hit the like button and support Ring Raw Boxing Podcast on the cook up tonight.
Yeah, we getting it
But
in
that's a good fight. I still
for
have
sure.
Usyk winning. And what other fights are coming up?
Let's
Hold on,
talk about the Tank versus
Joshua.
Roach.
Okay, I'm looking.
Tank
Joshua ain't
Roach
about to fight again
rematch.
yet. Who?
Hey man, hold on. Hold on. Let me ask y'all. What y'all think about Joshua with this though, man? What y'all think about Joshua with him possibly fight? What he said, Dillian White, right? Dillian White
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Jared Big Baby Anderson, man.
He beats
Hmm.
Anderson. Now here's the
Yeah, I think he
thing.
beats Anderson.
Here's the thing. He's gun shy now, and his chin has been exposed. White knows his power. If he comes through and lands, I don't know. I don't know what Anthony Joshua could do. Yeah, I'm like, I don't know what he could do because we know he has a suspect chin, and White isn't going to be scared to take a couple punches and throw a big one. He stunned him in the first fight, and he backed off. Now he knows, oh, I got him stunned. I'm going to go in for the kill, even if I got to take a couple punches, because Joshua's gun shy. So I don't know who will win that fight. I mean, I like Joshua more, and Joshua's had a better career, but at this point, if he's scared, Dillian White will win.
Right.
I mean, it sounds weird. I mean, Dillian White hasn't been that
Oh, let
active.
me ask you this. Let me ask you this, Mike. Do you think Joshua's starting to become like Green?
I'm not saying Green. Since the Andy Ruiz fight, he's not fighting like he did before.
I like B's look on that question.
Yeah, he's not
I'm
coming
just
through.
like,
I'm sorry. He's not coming
I like
through.
B's look on that question.
I'm a Joshua fan. But after that fight, even me and my wife watched it, and she was like, "Oh, Jelly beat him.
Right.
He's like a bodybuilder." I'm like, I never seen nothing like that in my life happen before. But if he comes, he's been gun shy ever since Ruiz knocked him out. Like Joshua used to literally come through,
That's a deep
take a
perspective
punch,
in
and throw
that.
bombs. Now it's like he throws a jab. I mean, he could have beat Usyk. He had Usyk out on his feet, and then instead of going in for the kill, he let Usyk go jab him up. I'm like, he lost his edge. He lost his edge, and I'm a Joshua fan. It's like I don't know what happened.
Mm.
He still got
What you
power,
think
but he's
about
not
that,
throwing it like
B?
he did before.
well,
What you
I'm an
think
AJ
about that,
fan too,
B?
man. So,
I know Beam
um,
is a big AJ fan, so that's what I
yeah.
see this
So,
face when I asked the question. And I see Beam face. I'm like, yeah, I want to know what he think about this.
He's been gun shy.
This
He's
is
been gun shy since
great boxing
Ruiz.
conversation. I love this conversation.
yeah, it's beautiful right here,
Now we
man.
have to see after he got knocked out by Daniel Dubois, is he gonna be even more gun shy? Because the punch that knocked AJ out, I thought it was a little tap, and then he was out laying on the ground, and I'm like, oh, hey, that wouldn't have done nothing to old AJ. But I literally don't know what to say. I'm at this point right now, and this would still be a big money fight, but you have to do it in England, and they could probably get 100 million a piece. Aside from Wilder versus I'm sorry, aside from Joshua versus Fury, do Wilder Fury in England. I guarantee both of them get 150 million a piece and retire. It's
Oh,
sellout
we
literally.
forgot. Wilder's about to fight coming up. He's about to fight
Yeah, with
coming up.
Herndon, Tyrell
If
Herndon.
Yeah,
Wilder loses this fight or looks bad, he can't even
yeah.
get the AJ fight for 150.
Yeah, he lose this one, he's done, bro. I ain't gonna lie, and I'm a Wilder fan. Like he loses, it's over. It's over.
I've never been a
Like
Wilder
Wilder
fan.
hang it up, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? But
Hmm.
I mean, at the same time, like I know me and B, we was kind of talking about this a little bit the other day. We was like, man, why they just cause my like we both believe that AJ he always wanted to fight with Wilder. I think it was just Hearn was the problem. He was the problem.
Her wasn't
But
a problem.
he was a
Wilder admitted
big
he turned the
problem.
fight down.
I
Wilder
don't
admitted he
never
turned the
remember
fight
that.
down. Yes, he did. He admitted it after he got beat by Fury. He should have, in the in between after that draw,
Hmm?
them two should have fought each other instead of him fighting. Who'd he fight?
Hell
He
nah,
did a
man.
rematch with Ortiz,
They were supposed
and
to
then
fight when they both were champions, man. We all talked about this
they
several
were still
times.
champions, man. They were still champions. What I'm talking about, they were both
I
still
mean,
champions, and
shit,
they offered
Fury beat him
Wilder.
after that. Like Fury beat, and
You can look
then
it
see,
up. He offered him. They
this is my
offered him.
problem. Me and B talked about this too. It's crazy that Wilder and Fury fought each other, but Fury ain't get the chance to fight AJ, and AJ ain't get to fight Fury nor Wilder. Like, you know what I'm
You
saying?
remember?
Like
Now, hold up. You have to
that
remember.
that little trio right there, you only got two people fight each other. You ain't get to see all three of them, get in that ring together 100%. Besides,
Right.
Fury and and
Now you remember.
Wilder.
You remember.
So
You remember the
that's
fight was
kind of
signed.
crazy in that specific era of heavyweight division.
Now you
That's
remember the
why one
fight
of
was
them has to
signed.
happen.
Hold on, let me talk. The
Look,
fight was signed between Fury and AJ. Wilder came back with the arbitration, and they ruled. They thought that everything got time. They thought everything phased out. They ruled in Wilder's favor, and it threw everything off. Y'all remember that?
I do remember Aram said there was nothing that would stop
To stop it, and
AJ from
then Wilder
Fury
did the
happening.
arbitration, and
Yeah,
then that threw
arbitration
that
happening.
whole fight off. And then AJ got beat by Usyk, so everything got thrown off.
But
So I'm not
same
gonna
time
say.
though, it was opportunities when both guys was available before the Fury situation.
It
It
was
happened with Wilder, where they could have fought. They could have fought. I
Eddie
don't, like
Hearn
I
them
said,
offer. They
I'm in
offered a
belief that
contract.
I'm not putting on AJ. I know AJ. He's a warrior. He's a warrior, and he wants to box. He's a gladiator in this boxing game. You know what I mean? I just felt like Hearn didn't want to at the time when
Hearn
Wilder
offered
was
the fight.
hot. He didn't want that fight. He showed
Hearn
so
offered the
many ways
fight.
he didn't want that fight. Hearn ain't offer shit. Show it.
Go. Oh, I'm gonna inbox you and show it to you.
Okay.
When it gets off, I'm gonna inbox it to you and you show it to everybody. Wilder admitted he turned the fight down. I think that would have been a good fight, them two. But who knows who would have? I mean, we know AJ has a
They could have
weak
made
chin.
the fight could have
It would have
happened
been like
recently.
this: Wilder
No,
versus
they need to do
AJ.
it now. I mean, that still be a
Hey Rob, I see
$150 million
Rob
fight.
laughing.
It's like this to me, Mike, where it'll be the same as AJ versus Dubois. Whoever lands first,
Yeah,
flush.
yeah.
hmm
Dubois caught AJ first, and it took effect. He never recovered. So if Wilder
Yeah, no, no,
catches
you're right. I mean,
him
I
like
always
that,
thought that
it
when
would do
they,
the
I always
same
thought if they
effect.
fought,
But if
well, I didn't think
AJ
it
lands
before I
first
saw the
flush,
Andy Ruiz fight, but after the Andy
but hold
Ruiz
on,
fight, I'm like,
you can't use
if he
Andy
lands
Ruiz
flush,
because Ruiz went down and got up. Most people
yeah,
don't get up from the AJ shots like
you
Ruiz
right, you
did
right.
and
Right.
still can function that way. Ruiz got a special chin
Well,
and
I have to
recovery.
see it, man. I call that I mean, that still be a good fight that is worth buying.
Hey, read Rob's comment, Bing.
What's that, fam?
Read Rob's comment.
Oh, okay, hold
Is
on.
Rob saying more dumb stuff, trying to support the PBC?
Rob says, "Stop it, Mike. Fury's camp knew arbitration was going to be the holdup. Him and AJ during the arbitration was smoke and mirrors."
Don't tell Rob to be quiet and learn boxing. That's all I'm gonna tell you. He says the stupidest stuff I've heard in my life. Everybody thought the fight was gonna go through, and then they signed and everything, and then it was supposed to go. Rob thinks that Tank is on Sugar Ray Leonard level, so I'm not. I don't even pay attention to nothing that he says.
Oh wow.
He literally compared Tank to Sugar Ray Leonard. So when you say stupid stuff like that, that shows how much you don't know.
Rob said he coming in.
Rob said,
He
"Come
was
on
gonna,
in, big money, baby, get down."
he was gonna, he said, crazy.
But
What
Nah, I
you
mean,
more
while he's
stupid
about
stuff
to
he
come
has to
on,
say? I mean,
what you think,
oh,
Mike,
what did he
about
say? Oh man,
Tank versus Roach?
BBC Lions only's making money. I mean, talk more dumb stuff.
What about Roach versus Tank,
my bad,
Mike?
It
JC.
depends on who makes the most change. It depends on who can make the most changes. That's what it
I
depends
got
on.
Tank on this one. I do. I got Tank on this one.
I'm leaning towards Tank, but we have to see can Tank make adjustments and can Roach still come back hard to make other adjustments he needs to make. That'll be the winner.
Yes, definitely better adjustments on from both fighters for real. Because I
Yeah,
felt
he
like
already his best
within it.
adjustments.
What up, Rob?
Hey,
Baby
Rob, what's
Rob.
good, brother?
Mike,
Good, cook
what's
up,
up, bro?
bro.
Mike,
Hey,
Mike,
JC, my bad,
I
brother.
got some cooking on you for
I
you,
love
Mike.
you, bro.
I'm about to cook you. I'm about to cook you. Don't you ever in your life disrespect me like that, deal, okay? Don't you ever, I'm about to cook you. First of all,
Can't hear
everybody
Talk
Rob.
on
knew.
Sugar Ray Leonard level. Okay.
Hold on, never. I
We
never
can't
said
hear
that.
Rob.
Hold on. Let me turn
No
these headphones
audio
on.
from Rob.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Can you hear
Can you
me?
hear him? Can you hear him?
No, I'm
Bean,
just listening to
can you
somebody
hear
saying
Rob?
that Tank has a Sprite commercial, the
Mike,
Pepsi
Mike,
commercial, like Roberto
can
Duran
you
had to
hear,
do.
can you hear Rob? I can't hear Rob.
I can hear y'all.
I could
I
at
can hear
first.
y'all.
I can hear you now, Rob. I think.
Hey, hold
Go
on.
ahead.
Mike, first and
Hey,
foremost, dog, I never compared Tank to Sugar Ray Leonard. I said in terms of being the guy. When you are a cash cow, you can call shots and making money regardless of who you fight. That's the comparison. I never said resume, nothing like that. Second of all, everybody knew, including Fury's camp, when they
Whoa, I can't
signed
hear
that
nothing from
arbitration
Rob.
before the third negotiation, everybody knew the
It's something I
loser
want to
was
say,
going to
but I ain't
pick
gonna
up
say it on
and
here.
do what he knew. He knew that, and he signed off on it, and so did they camp. How could he get out of an arbitration that he signed? He's so stupid listening to Bob Aaron. Ain't nothing gonna happen. He knew he couldn't get out that arbitration because
I
he
can't hear
signed it.
nothing,
They can't
Rob.
read it.
Tell
Yeah,
And
he
Rob to
was
AJ
come
White was
comparing
back.
that
smoking
Tank to
in
Tell him
Sugar Ray
to
mirrors.
Leonard.
tell him to come back, go out and come back in.
No, what, man?
There.
I gotta go.
Okay.
You set up a. You know what? Here it goes. You
Yeah,
set up a
'cause I
I
good
couldn't
can't
hear
hear
conversation
nothing
with
from
nothing from
Rob,
Rob.
and
Rob.
I will destroy him. But I gotta go because I gotta get my kids to bed. But you let them know that whenever you got my thing set up. Send me a time and I will debate him. All right,
Ooh.
do it because he talks
Bet,
complete nonsense. Sugar Ray
bet. I
Leonard
think.
and Tank Davis are to be compared with each other. No,
Hold on. When did I do
that's
that?
I
When
never
did
ridiculous.
heard Rob make that comparison. That's
I
kind
heard
of
him say it
crazy. I ain't
before.
never heard him say that. I don't
he
know
I
lied,
that.
heard
bro?
him say it
He lied.
before. I'm not. You know
I've been
what?
cooking you
You set
all
up a
week.
special time, and I'll come on here and I'll debate him. I can't do it right now because my kids are going to bed. But
Okay,
you set up
bet.
any
Bet. We'll
time,
do
and
it
I will
next
talk to
Sunday.
him
We about to
because
Next
set
this
it up,
Sunday.
dude is.
B.
all right. We'll
You get it?
follow up with that topic next Sunday then,
Yeah.
for sure.
All right. Follow. Hit me up because I gotta go. All right, man.
Okay. Are you there, fam?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. I'm
Okay,
here.
cool. All
Yeah,
right.
you gotta set that up, man. Hey, Rob, man. But I don't know what's up with his audio tonight. I don't know, but Rob is ready to cook up though. I didn't get to hear
He
nothing he
ready.
was
He was
saying.
ready. Boy was
I
ready.
hear nothing he got to say. I was like, oh man, Rob,
Okay, I got a couple
man.
more topics because
Yeah, go ahead, get to him.
before we had to shut it down. So we said Tank Roach, Dimitri Bivol, and Beterbiev trilogy. What you think?
It's crazy, but it's kind of surprising Turkey ain't really announced no date for this trilogy.
Right.
Like he did all of the, he made Dimitri, vacate the title and stuff, everything, so he wouldn't fight David Benavidez and everything. So
And
it's
all that
like,
craziness.
and
Yeah.
and you kind of peep the play what's going on too within that division, within that 175 division.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to make Anthony Yarde and Colin Smith fight each other now. Where
Yeah, I did see
David
that.
Benavidez was in negotiations to fight Colin Smith, and remember David Benavidez, he just had the interview with Pound for Pound podcast recently, where he was saying that Turkey was trying to make him fight in in Alcatraz out there in California, the prison that ain't don't have nothing going on. No, you know what I'm saying? It's basically just like an exhibit at this point.
Right.
Like,
Deserted.
come
Yeah.
on, like, you know what I mean? Like, it was being like, and you see the plays, just with it, he's blocking David Benavidez from fighting Colin Smith currently, possibly. I ain't gonna say he is
Right.
100%. I say possibly.
Right. Possibly.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because you never know. Like, they may pull pull through in the fight whatsoever. But same says people got to read between the lines with a lot of stuff that's going on with the motion. As far as the fight with the trilogy, I'm surprised. Like I said before, I'm surprised it hasn't got announced yet. When like a date, in particular, I know the fight most likely going to land in Saudi Arabia, and go ahead and get this fight cracking. So David Benavidez, whatever fight he has next, hopefully it's Colin Smith, because Colin Smith, he has one of those interim titles at that division. And David, he's wanting to capture that, interim title from him so he can put himself in more position to fight the winner of the trilogy. So we got a lot of motion with 175. It's all upon this trilogy happening, so we can see what happens, next. When who's going to fight the winner of this trilogy. I mean, right now,
Right.
and hopefully, it should be David Benavidez for sure. I heard David Benavidez. I heard something possibly with maybe going back to the fight with Jesse Hart possibly. You know what I'm saying? Because Turkey definitely is trying to make a Colin Smith Yardy fight. But then I seen some other motion with Yardy a little bit too, fighting somebody else as well. So what I'm saying, we'll see what happens. But as far as the trilogy, at hand, I like Bivol. I like Bivol in the third fight. The
Yeah,
reason
me
why,
too.
because I feel like Beterbiev in the second fight, I felt like he was there in the fight. It was a close fight, but I just feel like Bivol, like, not even edged him. I think he won, no, convincingly in the fight. You know what I'm saying? As far as in the fight in particular, so I take Bivol as far as a little bit, a little bit younger, a little bit more fresher, and with the movement and everything, and Bivol, he he didn't fear Beterbiev power in the rematch as much as he
Right,
did in
right,
the
right.
first fight. The first fight,
Yeah,
he
I
got on
felt the
his
same way.
bike. So that was surprising to me a little bit, just sitting back thinking about it and watching it back.
Yeah, he
Like
gambled more in
he
the second
wasn't on his
fight.
bike in this fight with
Yeah.
Beterbiev. He didn't fear
Hmm.
his power as much as he did in that first fight, which was
Yeah.
real surprising to me. So it gave me a lot of confidence just looking at the fight for us the third one, thinking that I think Bivol definitely could probably win this third one the same way that he did in the second one. Personally, in my opinion, I mean, which is, don't get it twisted. Beterbiev may come out with a little bit more hunger in this fight.
Hmm. Yeah.
And he may,
Because he got
he
to.
may,
He got to.
fight similar to how he did in the first fight and try to, make it a real competitive, spicy fight for real that, then it was in the second fight for real. And I expect it because me personally, I like both guys. I like Bivol and Beterbiev. I like both of
Me
the
too.
styles. I feel
Yeah.
like the style matchup as far as that fight in particular, it matches up well for both of them. It matches up for a great fight. Now, is it one of the best fights ever? No, but
Right.
it's a good fight. You know what I'm saying? As far as that division where those guys, they unified up and everything. No, not unified up. They undisputed, but even though we know the situation with Bell and everything, but I'm just saying, as far as the style matchup between both of these guys, it matches up very well. Which is, I
Hmm.
think the third fight, it should be a great fight. It should be a great fight. Yeah, and now that's the question: is it 50-50? That's the question I gotta ask you, Bing. Like, is it 50-50 now, or is it more leaning on Bevel's edge now? Because if I had to kind of scale it, just being a little bit a little bit honest with it, I'm like,
Hmm.
what? No, maybe like 52
Yeah.
Bevel.
'Cause-
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? 47.
I
You
f-
know what I'm saying? For 30.
right.
I mean, it's close still. It's still rather,
It's still.
rather,
Yeah.
very close.
Yeah. Because I look at it like this. We know, like you said, in the rematch, um,
48, man. I said 52,
Bivol.
48. My bad. I had to I think my numbers in the head. Go
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
ahead.
So, Bivol definitely won the rematch. Now, in the first
Right.
fight, it was still somewhat controversial to where people, me myself too, felt like Bivol could have edged it. So, in many people's mind, they kind of got Bivol up 2-0 to an extent. But okay, say you do give Beterbiev the first fight. To me, Bivol's second fight win was better than the win that Beterbiev got on the first fight. Like he pushed the pace
Right,
better.
right.
He
I
did
agree with that.
more.
I agree with
So I
that.
feel like in the third fight, with that same off that win, he's going to come in just guns blazing off the chain, and he's all well rounded. I think Beterbiev is going to come and give it his all, but it's only so much he's going to be able to do because Bivol just all
Yeah,
around
yeah,
slicker. He's all around slicker. I mean, fundamentally, he's
yeah,
better.
bro. Like
I mean,
I'm right along with you for real because I feel like Bivol, what he showed me in the second fight was because you see some of these fights that was trilogy fights that fights that first and second, then it becomes a trilogy. You kind of could tell with the eye test on how the field should go for us the third fight in particular. And you looking at this case in particular, Beterbiev, a guy that aging, he's getting up there in age. Not the power's not gone, but the athleticism, speed, some of that may take a little toll. You know what I mean? And Bivol, of course he's there, but he's not up in age as Beterbiev. But Bivol, he's there. He's still out there. He's active, still very athletic, and he showed his athleticism. He showed his IQ and his vision in the fight with Beterbiev. And Beterbiev, me personally, I feel like Beterbiev, like Bivol feared that was the real curious thing because I mentioned, I said, it's very curious to me that I seen that Beterbiev, like I feel like Bivol really feared him in that first fight, and he didn't fear him in the second fight as much as he did in the first fight. So that's what really makes this third fight very interesting to see how
for
much
sure.
the power is going to be effect for us Bivol like in this next fight for real. Like it's really interesting to see that. Like so I'm ready for them to lock a date in for this fight. Like I'm assuming because Riyadh season starts in the fall, so I'm assuming that they're waiting for the date to possibly be make a date for that fight to be later this year, towards the end of this year. So hopefully we get this fight, man. Get this definitely. It gotta happen. I mean, shit, Bill would have vacated the title for it. So, like,
Right.
what I mean? At this point, the trilogy gotta happen. So, it is no way Turkey don't make this fight happen because you definitely made a way for this fight to happen.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so I got two more topics.
Go ahead.
Keyshawn Davis versus Edwin De Los Santos.
Yes, that's next week.
Man, what do you
Next
feel about
week.
this one?
I love it. I love the card in general. This is a card, of course, Keyshawn, they got his two brothers on the card. And of course, co-main event, Cleveland's finest, Ohio own Abdullah Mason. You know what I'm saying?
Shout
Fighting
outs to Abdullah
Jeremiah
Mason,
Nakatila. You know
Ohio.
what I mean? It's gonna
Mm-hmm.
be a great fight, man. Abdullah Mason fighting a former Shakur Stevenson opposition, and of course Keyshawn Davis. He's fighting a former Shakur opposition and Edwin De Los Santos, man. So it makes up for an action-packed card for us. Those two fights in particular. There's Nakatila. He's a guy. He come forward. Defense. He ain't worried about his defense. He coming forward and he banging. So we're gonna see a little bit of willpower within Abdullah Mason in this fight with Nakatila. You know what I'm saying? For sure. It's gonna be a good brawl, good banger between them two. You know what I mean? And Abdullah, if you look at him from recent times and see how he fights and see his style, he ain't running. He coming
Yeah.
forward. He trying to
Yep.
inflict some pain. He inflicting pain
Mm-hmm.
on his eye. You know what I mean? So I'm excited to see Abdullah. Every time I watch Abdullah Mason man fight, I'm always excited to watch him fight, man, for sure. I've been covering him over the past several years myself, and kind of putting some of my fan base on with him and stuff. Of course, we talked about it on the show the other day on the Roundtable show. You know what I mean? Where Marcus, he was giving some insight on Abdullah as far as him coming up with some great insight on Abdullah Mason, in the Mason family in general, as far as his brothers and everything too. So, yeah, man, I'm excited for Abdullah Mason to be back on the stage, man, fighting this weekend, man. I'm excited. You know what I mean? And of course, I we mentioned it last night. I was like, man, with this card, Abdullah fighting former Shakur Keyshawn fighting the former Shakur I know y'all watch KMJ Network, y'all watch the channel, man. I got a nice video where probably like a little bit over a month ago where I talked about how I felt like when this fight was announced, I felt like Top Rank, they trying to shit on Shakur with them putting these two fights together right here. You know what I mean? So I like the two fights. You know what I'm saying? I see the play from Top Rank angle because Top Rank they got a way of how they go about things as far as their matchmaking. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Top Rank they the best matchmakers in the game, in my opinion. But I like these fights. Edwin and Keyshawn in particular. It poses for a banger. It poses for a banger, because Keyshawn he's not gonna fight like Shakur. You know what I'm saying? Edwin,
Right.
he gonna fight on the inside. Of course, we know that, and we know Keyshawn. He gonna fight on the inside as well, man. He gonna put everything on the line. He gonna
In
put
that
everything on
pocket,
the line
yeah.
out there.
Yeah,
Now,
in
he
that
gonna
pocket,
stand in that
yeah.
pocket strong. You know what I mean? And Keyshawn, I'm really interested to see no his IQ, see how athletic he is in his fight with Edwin. Of course, Edwin coming off a little bit of layoff. His last fight was with Shakur Stevenson, and of course, I mentioned before he had a shoulder injury, and he had a blood clot issue as well. So what I'm saying, he coming off a little bit of the layoff, and then these little couple issues. You know what I mean? Look a little green. Look a little green. But, what I'm saying? I feel like Keyshawn should get the job done in this fight. He should definitely get the job done. He should get the job done. No, now it's knocking out. I don't want to say knockout. If it's a knockout, maybe some late round action, knockout from him. But I don't see nothing early per se. But I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't be surprised if Keyshawn wins this fight by decision. Like close decision.
Right.
I'm really interested to see Edwin really put up a fight and really make this real competitive because like we want to see Keyshawn. We seen him in the fight with Nahir Albright, where it was a little tough,
Right.
but like I think this
Yeah.
is the most power puncher we've seen Keyshawn face as far as Edwin De Los
Right. So
Santos. And
it won't be like a bearing
yeah.
check where it's just so,
Yeah, Bearcheck was super green.
yeah.
Super green, bro. Like, and it kind of tells the fact with Navarrete, like, him losing to Bearcheck, it's like, and we seen Navarrete in his fight with Suarez, he lost that fight for real. Like, we just seen that a couple weeks ago. They about to probably make that a no contest in that fight because, that fight how that fight ended. We don't see the outrage in that fight either. But that's a whole other story. But in particular, man, with Keyshawn, we want to see Keyshawn tested with some power, and I think this is the most power punch we've seen. Keyshawn's going to face with Edwin De Los Santos because I've heard people in the rank, in the 135-pound division, they speak on Edwin's power, and of course Shakur, he said like. That boy Edwin, he's strong. Like he got some power. Like, and you see how he fought him. He was in that track
Exactly.
meet.
Put
Jesse
some respect on
Owens.
his name. Yeah.
But yeah, I like Keyshawn overall in this fight. I like Keyshawn, man. I mean, I'm just me being just safe. I'm saying by decision, but I won't be surprised if Keyshawn, if he stopped them in the late rounds, if he stops them in the like 1 to 6 round, I'll be very surprised. I really would. Like I really would. I'm interested to see this fight, man. I can't wait for this card Saturday, bro. We're gonna have to do a lot of building up for this fight card this week, man. I gotta turn up I gotta turn up the content this week. I've been a little bit lacking, I feel a little bit, but we're gonna turn it up though. It's good.
For sure, man. All right, so we're gonna break down to this last topic,
For sure.
the very very last topic for the night. But it's gonna kind of be a one subject but two scenarios. So we're talking about Claressa Shields, the GOAT of female boxing. She's going to be fighting Lanny Daniels. From the footage I've seen of Lanny Daniels, and I'll be studying her more throughout this week, I don't really see her troubling Claressa Shields, because when we look back at Savannah Marshall, she had reach, she had power. Danielle Perkins, she had reach, she had power. And Claressa was able to use her speed, all her skills and experience, and beat Savannah Marshall and Perkins. I don't see Daniels doing anything with Claressa. What do you think?
Yeah, man. Daniel got love for Claressa, man. Honestly, and this was the conversation I meant to make a video on for real. Like, you see how like with the whole Katie Taylor and the Manny Serrano, trilogy card, they got Shadeja Green and Savannah Marshall fighting on that card. Why can't we see Claressa fight the winner of that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay.
these fights at the division that she's fighting at, this heavyweight division, it's kind of BS. Kind of BS. Like, it's fights
Right.
that we don't care for. It's no names. We don't know these girls. And it ain't nothing to. It's not to try to like trash Claressa anyway, because of course I feel like she's the best fighter in women's boxing. As far as talent wise,
Right.
I'm saying
Right.
talent wise.
Talent. Facts.
So, and I got a lot of love for Claressa as far as like her as a fighter. Some of the outside of the ring stuff, that's a whole nother story. I ain't gonna get into that. But in particular,
Right.
as far as her fighting, I want to see her. No, I know Shadeja Green, her last couple performances hasn't been great, solid performances. But at the same time, it's like we want to see you get some names, because these girls that we're seeing you fight, we don't know them.
Right.
Dana Perkins, she had the size where it posed well for you, but if you watch the film and you watch the highlights, you're like, man, she ain't beating Claressa.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
it's just these type of fights, man. You feel me? So it's just like it's like Savannah. I would like to see you fight Savannah Marshall again.
I wouldn't mind that.
And
I
she
wouldn't
get
mind
past
that.
Shadeja Green.
Right. Now, Claressa is what, 16-0? Is that a record?
Oh, I believe so.
16-0?
I believe so. I had to double check. She's undefeated. I want to say she's in the 20s. I want to say, to be honest.
I got her box rec, but I can't. I could probably look it up real quick. I got the box rec app.
Yeah, I mean, Claressa. I mean, she's fighting this heavyweight division where it's not anybody significant in that division right now. It's not even trying to shame her. It's nobody really significant in that division right now. So it's like, what are we doing? Like we want to see, like you go there. I mean, I think the heavyweight division for the women's is like 175, 185 or something like that. Man, go ahead and go back down 160, 168 and fight them girls down there. They got names down there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you do this, like the whole like this is when it comes into the conversation when I'll be talking about like these belts don't really matter because they put her in fights with this girl Daniels. Like, okay, she got a title in the heavyweight division and for the women's. So we had Clarissa fight her, and then she mop her up, and then she undisputed there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's cool for the look, but it's like
Mm-hmm.
we don't care for real. Like, I mean, like it's like the title fight. You fought somebody we don't even know. We don't know her. It ain't even trying to trash like Carissa, like because it's not Carissa's fault. It's the politics, the business, and stuff like that. But Carissa has to say so what she wants to do at the same time because she's the A side in a lot of these fights.
Right.
That's it. That's
So,
the realistic part of it
mhm.
too.
Yeah, that's true. And I just looked it up. Her box rec, she is 16-0.
Okay.
Shout outs to
Okay.
Eric Bob. Thanks for coming through. Please hit the thumbs up. So the other part of that question, Cam J, is since
Facts.
Clarissa 16-0, now she has more experience than who I'm about to speak of, but she is actually a
Hmm.
sibling of Daniel Dubois, Carolyn Dubois. I think she's like 11 and
Yeah.
0. People want to see that fight at some point. Clarissa versus Carolyn Dubois.
I mean, well, I think the Carolyn Dubois situation is kind of like it's more so with the weight. No, I'm not her weight. I think she's fighting at lightweight. So they're not even they're not even close to weight right
Yeah, she
now.
would
You
have to
know what
come
I
up
mean? So
how many
that's
weight
I think that's the
classes?
problem right now.
Would that be like a
I
Bud
think
Canelo situation?
yeah, it'd be definitely that. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it'd be definitely that. So that's one like, but no, Dubois. I think she's kind of like at the weight where close where Alicia, right around that range. You know what I'm
Now
saying?
that would be
Where
the
she
one
can fight
then.
like the Alicias, the
Bumgarner,
Amanda
yeah.
Serranos and stuff like that. You know what I mean? The
Okay.
Gabriel Fundora. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So
Gabriel
she still got
Fundora, she
some
got to
work down
move up
there.
soon too as well. So it's
Yeah.
like that little like if Carissa was down with them, she better get some real work and get some good
Real
names and
work.
all of that.
That's where it's
You know what I'm
popping.
saying? Like I know, of course, Carissa has the issue with a lot of the women's boxing for us. A lot of people feel like, Amanda Serrano's, she's the highest paid, which she is the highest paid in women's boxing. That's not a lie. That's a fact. She
Mm-hmm.
is. And, a lot of people they call Amanda Serrano the GOAT and stuff, but I don't like to do all of that. So I feel like Amanda Serrano, she's definitely one of the best, women's fighters ever. You know what I'm saying? And, of course, took a couple losses to Taylor. I'm kind of questionable with the losses, but it is what it is, man. I mean, Carissa, I feel like she's the best fighter ever, but it's still some tests along the line. Like you gonna keep continuing and you on your boxing quest. We want to see you fight we want to see you fight some of the better names. Deja Green, she ain't looked as great as her last couple, showings. Well, I would love to see that fight still. Because she's better than Daya Perkins.
Right.
Yeah,
Shadeja Green. Yeah, I'm gonna check her out. I think I seen maybe one or two, but not many
she's
fights.
fight. Yes, her and Savannah Marshall, man, they be fighting on that card with Taylor and Serrano. The
Oh,
trilogy.
okay.
So
Oh,
definitely
that's
they'll
going
be on that
down.
card.
Yeah.
That card is gonna be a great card, man. For real, great card. I can't wait to watch that card.
Okay, that's what's up, man. We gonna get it cracking. All right, bro. Well, I
Yeah.
appreciate everything, man.
You already
We
know,
get ready
man.
to wrap it on up. Gotta get to work in the morning and everything.
Yeah, for sure. I got to say,
Uh,
man, you already know, cuz man, it's been a pleasure, man. Tonight, man, great boxing conversation, man, for sure. Everybody, I make sure y'all like and comment on the replay. Y'all watch this back, man. Great conversation tonight, man. Salute to Mike Weir popping on here tonight, man, with us and stuff. Rob, we couldn't hear Rob. We gotta get them together, man, for sure, man. Might get
oh
him on a
yeah.
round table or we can bring him on here Sunday, you know what I'm saying? We
Right.
figure it out for sure. You gotta let them cook up, man, for sure. But salute to my boy JC, man, behind the scenes, man. That's my brother, man. He be doing great work behind the scenes, man. Salute to him, and then salute to you, Cuzzo, man, for sure, man. And everybody, make sure y'all subscribe to Camp Day Network, man. We working. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to ramp up the content this week, man. I had to have some little stuff going on this week, but we about to ramp it up and cook up, man. And we got content from yesterday. Yesterday, man.
Oh
If
yeah,
y'all ain't watched it, watch
plenty of it.
Sorry But Not Sorry Boxing Talk Roundtable episode 3. That episode with Bean, with my guy Marcus Nall from Ohio Runs Boxing,
Yeah,
Two Cents
T
Boxing,
Hill,
Dad Queen Boxing,
Chad Queen.
Thomas
Yep,
Hill, man, from
yep.
Casual's Corner. Like great boxing conversation, man. It's about like a 4 hour and 25-minute
Minutes. Yep,
conversation, but it was
yep.
all solid and we was just breaking down so many different layers and topics, man. It was a beautiful boxing talk, man. And that's the boxing talk that I'm trying to cater in a lot more. It wasn't nobody calling each other out their names and getting
Right.
emotional, and
Yep.
it was just
Disrespect.
great conversation. We
Mm-hmm.
challenged each other in certain topics and everything, but it was great conversation overall, man. And, make sure
Definitely.
everybody tap in with that one for sure, man. But salute, Cuzzo, man. Go to do your thing, man. You already know, Cuzzo. JC, man. Salute, brother.
Yeah. All right, my guy. Yeah, appreciate it. All right, everybody. So you heard it. We had Cam J. Shout outs to Mike Ware, Cam J, Rob Elmore, Eric, Bob, and everybody, my cousin Marcel, and everybody who showed up on this chat tonight. Uh, Scoob, cousin Scoob, and I can't forget the original fighter's voice with Don McGuire, his first time showing up in the chat. Thanks for coming. And I'll catch you on the next round. Peace.